Welcome to our reality, everyone. I don't know why you're here, but I'm glad you are, because tonight we are going to be talking about the first week and also the first live eviction of Big Brother 26. We have a lot to go over, everyone, and we are live. It is it is only a week into the new season of Big Brother, yet it feels like we just watched 3 weeks happen all together, but also didn't, because we can't back up the feeds and the feeds get cut a lot, but we just have to live through the episodes. It's a whole ordeal. I don't need to say that right now. We're going to get into it later, but I just want to let you know we've got a lot to go over tonight. Matt is out of the Big Brother 26 house. He went home on an 8-3 vote tonight. We have a new HOH that will be upcoming in a few hours, and we have a whole week to go over of fights, of upgrades, of AI, of ridiculousness overall, and I can't wait to get into it. The chat is open. Feel free to ask away in the chat if you have any topics, any suggestions, anything that you just want to get off of your chest. Feel free to hop in there. We also will be having the wheel of discussion making an appearance at some point in this podcast. If you have any topics that you just need on this wheel, look how beautiful this wheel is. We will be
Joey Martinez.
That's right. Rodriguez. Thank you very much.
If anyone can make a joke like that, it's me. So
okay. Well, we are here to go over the week, and I'm not alone on this venture. My name is Barrett. First off, if you're here for the very first time, if you're not subscribed, if you haven't liked this video yet, do all of those things. That helps us out a ton. But I'm here joined by my esteemed Big Brother colleagues. We have the Zach Perez, the Nick City, and the lovely Roxy Hotman here to go over Big Brother 26 with us all. And Zach, I'm going to come to you first. I don't know what Roxy said. I was kind of off in my own world there. But Zach, I'm going to come to you first.
My cat just threw up.
Oh, no, that's terrible. Zach, we're a week into Big Brother 26. Roxy will deal with us in a second. I'm sorry. But I want to know your initial takeaways from the week, how you've compared it to the previous few seasons that maybe we've been kind of invested in, or just maybe have recency bias towards. How are you feeling about this cast? How are you feeling about this game overall?
This week in general is better than all of BB25. I don't think that's a hot take either. So it's been really great. So like, I want to compare everything to like post All Stars, because it was a flop, and I feel like this is like a new type of era that people want to say or whatever. So 23, we had Frenchie's week, and that was just a hot mess, but I feel like it was only one person that was like being Frenchie, who was just like so chaotic and crazy. And then 24, we had like some ugly sides to people, and it was just not a good time. And 25, like, I don't even remember who won the first HOH. I don't know if anyone else does. So,
why am I blanking on who would have won the
exactly
first HOH of Big Brother 25?
Oh, wait, Riley won the first HOH.
That's right.
Nick, why didn't you say anything?
I forgot.
That's what happens when we have three seasons in a row.
Wow.
It is what happens when we have 3 seasons in a row of first HOHs leaving pre-juries. I forget who actually won the first HOH.
I totally forgot about that.
Y'all are giving me flack for forgetting her last season. Anyway, and then this week, it's been all around amazing. The drama has been giving. The people are petty just to the right amount where it's not over the top. Regardless of what the casuals say, y'all can go fuck yourselves. This is the best TV we've gotten in such a long time. The strategy is like, there's people who are strategic, but they're not like overwhelming the game and trying to dictate it like a steamroll or anything. It's been great. I can't stress this enough that it's been great. This is just a great week.
Okay, a great week, a great review from Zach. Nick, I'm going to come to you next. Do you agree? Did you have fun watching the episodes this week? Do you think that it was, in fact, not over the top, as Zach claims for it to be? Or was it prime over the topness that we saw?
I think it was prime over the topness. It was good ass shit. Like, let me tell you, when I am up early and there's a fight going on at 8 in the morning for them, that's when you know, like, this is this season is it. It's like really good. It's kind of giving me like old school Big Brother, and I feel like it's because the cast is like a lot older. And then you have people like, you know, the older ones that are losing their minds, which we'll talk about later. But I think that it's really good. And I'm very excited. I like a lot of the people. I like do rankings every week, like my personal rankings where I like rank them all 1 to 16 or whatever the hell. And I found it so hard to rank them all because I was like, I like so many people that I don't know who to put low. And like I would put someone low and then I'm like, they should be higher because I like them. So I really like the cast and I think it's a good season so far. I'm very excited for it.
Great to hear. Roxy, you've heard Zach and
Barrett.
Nick give their reviews. Yes.
Sort of, yes.
I would love to know now what you thought of this week. You've been watching it quite a bit, especially compared to last year. You took a year off of Big Brother. You're back in full force. What are you feeling? Is it the chaos that I keep seeing on Twitter? Is it over the top, as Nick is calling it? Is it not over the top enough, as Zach seems to think that it is? I get what you're saying, though, Zach. There was plenty of good stuff this week. I know that's not what you meant. But what did you think of this week, Roxy? Tell me all about it.
Well, okay, yeah. So taking a year off, I kept saying, like, do I think this season is so good because I skipped all of last year? Or is this season really just fantastic? And I've come to the conclusion that it really is just great because Nick may have mentioned this. I think he did. Sorry, but I was distracted by a cat. I do think that this is like, it's petty. It's not like mean, despite all of the people all over,
Yes.
particularly Facebook, that are like, Angela's so mean. Like, grow up.
Right.
Or don't. I think you have to not grow up in order to think it's funny, actually. But I mean, like, it's petty, and I am living for the petty, especially Tucker's brand of pettiness. It's my favorite. But yeah, is that what you asked? I don't know.
It was an answer. I really just it really wasn't much of a question other than just please talk, Roxy. But you definitely covered it. Yeah, I figured, and I figured you would. I had confidence enough in you at this point that you would do it.
She can definitely talk.
Anything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's jump into this because we started off the week kind of chill. The feeds came on eventually after our Thursday night podcast around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whenever that was exactly Central Time. And we immediately got the sense that Matt and MJ were going to be a little bit more name droppers than we thought they might be. We kind of had the idea that they may link up. We had a lot of Matt Kinsey showmance predictions, I believe, in our Thursday podcast as well when we were going over it. So to see them kind of link up early on wasn't too surprising. And they were also calling out Angela's name, which is a key thing that they did not edit into these episodes at all. I thought was the insistence of MJ and Matt. I'm sorry, MJ is Mackenzie for those who don't watch the feeds. So when we say MJ Mackenzie, you probably put that together anyway. And I don't even know if they said it in the episodes, if they've said MJ at all. But we saw them name drop Angela a ton. We got to get her out. We got to go after her next week, which is something that did not show up in the episodes really at all. So I think it did add more and more to a casual viewer seeing this as just I'm going to attack Matt because he threatened me up in the HOH room, whatever. So that kind of led to that. And those are things that they did not want to put in the episodes itself, which was a very important factor, I believe, in all of that, and really added towards Angela's paranoia towards the situation and trying to defend herself, especially when Matt's coming up there and can we all agree, regardless of how you feel about what Matt said in the HOH room or how his tone came off and everything, which way have you, he approached it horribly. It was a horrible conversation from a game player to an HOH.
Everything about Matt in this game is horrible. Even tonight in his speech, he was like, and I think that's what America wants. Bullshit. You do not know anything about what we want because you ain't it. Like, he is nuts. He thinks that he understands this game and he clearly doesn't because he literally went about every single thing in the entire game wrong.
Went past tense is the important part of that as well.
Yeah, America Lopez does not want this.
Period.
It's
I don't like him.
he's he's what I imagine Frenchie would have been if he wasn't HOH the first week. Just delusional, starting alliances left and right, and not like, I don't know, not seeing
I don't
through
think so.
everything. And this is something you can speak your mind, but there's a room that you do that in, and that's the diary room. You don't speak your mind to the HOH. It's like, Barrett, I'll be honest, I was going to come up here and let you have it and be like, I have a whole alliance that even if I get put up, that even if I stay on the block, even if I don't win the veto, which, I mean, look at me. Imagine me being Matt. Like, I'm going to win the veto. I have so many chances to stay. So why would you even put me up?
Right.
You know what made me like absolutely furious? Like, just the whole edit leaves so much out. Like, they didn't even show any of the stuff like where he said to Lisa's face, "You are selfish for using the veto on yourself because that put me in danger." What? I don't understand. If everybody, we all know that his mama does, but does everybody in Matt's life just tell him that he is indeed the center of the universe? Because do I have news for him? He is not. It is so just beyond annoying to me. And then he had the audacity to be angry with her for not choosing him to play veto when they had not even had a conversation about that. She's like, how am I supposed to know to pick you to play veto for me when we haven't talked about it and I don't know what you're going to do with the veto? You're looking at me during the meeting like, what am I supposed to take from that?
Lisa has no bearing on this game either, so she's just supposed to read all of these little things like, oh yeah,
I mean,
this is definitely what Matt needs.
for real. She can't
just
read
literally has
anything.
glitter and gumdrops in her head right now. She's just like wondering
I mean,
what food
honestly,
she's gonna cook glitter with next. Like, what makes you think that she's gonna?
she's clueless.
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't
I
put
just couldn't
anything about
even.
glitter on the wheel of
Who
discussion.
says that? How dare you save yourself? And by the way, why didn't you let me play veto so that I could win and beat you and you would still be in jeopardy? Why didn't you do that, Lisa? What?
Well, Roxy, Matt had a
Ugh.
plan. It doesn't matter who wins, because what he was gonna do was divide the money amongst everyone. No one's gonna stop him from doing that.
Yeah, because it's not in the contract that you signed that you can't promise that to people.
Yeah,
Someone didn't read the fine print.
he's gaming the system.
Yeah.
He is. Look, in real life, he's probably nice. Probably in a narcissistic type of way, but I just the things that he said and thought and just the whole everything about him, and I was also really irked with the diary rooms tonight, well, and last night, that really just served no purpose other than to push the narrative that CBS, Big Brother, whoever wants to push. Because, they go in the diary room and they ask them all of these questions, right? To get whatever the answer is that they need for their storyline. So it's like, I mean, when you look at a player like Matt, who's big and strong, how do you, think that will help or hurt your game? So then they answer it, right? That's not really what they're thinking, but they're answering a question. And then they take this snippet and they make this montage of everybody going, I mean, Matt is a really strong player, and typically that is who you want to get out. But they're not going to put in there, we want to take him out because it's Matt. Like, they're not giving authentic diary rooms because they're pushing a completely different narrative, and it's so annoying to me.
In my mind, Zach left because he is so opposed to what you're saying right now, Roxy. While he's gone, I'm just gonna say Zach's a huge Matt fan, and he
Oh my God, he
absolutely is
loves him.
obsessed with every movie that he
Yes.
made. He said justice for Matt every 5 minutes in our
He
group chat and
literally
everything.
cried when Matt got
Yeah.
evicted.
He looked like Matt. when he
Almost
was
as much
crying,
as
too.
Matt cried.
Yeah.
We have not had a player that loves his mama this much since Jackson Mickey. I fully expected
I
for
feel like
him
that's accurate.
to get like the watermelon.
So
he's
just to
calling his mom right now, Mama.
well, he can. Yeah, he's able to talk to her. But
Exactly.
I will say, Ara, first thing, right. Plus, they didn't show him volunteering people as pawns. Yes, that was a whole other element leading up to the veto meeting that they just did not show, which is Matt having another conversation with Angela and like awkwardly trying to pull people to said conversation, and then them being like, we'll just meet in the bathroom so we can make sure people are around. And then it was like just going nowhere, but then Matt just like offered up and be like, I think T-Core would be a good pawn, or I think Tucker would be a good pawn. And then Angela being like, okay, whatever. But they're both, I will say this. If you are team Matt, if you are team Angela, first off, good luck with you. May God be with you on your journey to defend both of these people in this house. But I will say, Angela, batshit crazy this week. I've never seen a house guest quite like her in some time. It's like if Frenchie had a little bit more staying power, maybe this is what we would have seen. And this is what Angela is. The CBS plant of a lifetime is up in this HOH room week 1 and just absolutely losing her mind. Almost to a concerning level at times. And we haven't really even talked about the monologue, which I pretty much was trying to start the show with because we've just been so hyper-focused on Matt, which works because he was evicted. We'll never get to talk about him again, really. I do think we need to talk about Angela and everything that was Angela this week. So let's really get in and analyze this side of it too. And we can mix in some more Matt analysis and however you feel, because I understand both sides of this, and maybe I do understand both sides of this because I've been I believe me, I understand why a casual is viewing this show the way that they're viewing it, and I understand why a live feeder is viewing the show the way that they view it, and I understand that
a live feeder viewing it
intersect into our chat. So yes, I do understand. Yes, there is a right way to view the show, and it's probably not through the lens of CBS after they've chopped everything up.
Yeah,
but CBS is our Lord and Savior.
No, they didn't call me or anything to ask me my opinion.
They call Angela many times, though. It turns out from the 4 shows that she's been on.
Right?
No, I'll tell you why people think she's crazy. It's because she is old school Big Brother.
Yes.
If she would have been dropped in BB 6, 7, 8, whatever, 10, 11, she would have fit in perfectly.
I know people are always like, we want old school BB back, and correct, we do. But half the people, it's like, no, they don't, because all they want to do is complain about it. Like, she's so mean. I'm like, do y'all not remember Janelle's first season? Like, do you not remember how and the way he treated April all season? And we ate it up because it was fantastic. Like, it's so annoying.
They were literally yelling at each other in BB6 over extensions and whatnot. Like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, let's reestablish a little bit of Angela this week real quick. I'm going to play a little snippet from the monologue heard around the world at this point. If we want to call this the Crazy Eyes monologue. I don't know if we have an official title for it yet in the Big Brother world, but we'll play this again.
So flattered that I am a threat to you. I am so freaking flattered. Do you know how much that makes me look like a badass to my grandkids? It's awesome, Matt. Thank you. Crazy eyes. You have freaking crazy eyes. And for the house, for this beautiful wonder group of people, and for the visitors that came to visit me last night, your performance was great.
Oh,
Great. It was absolutely great for a low budget movie.
Budget movie.
oh man. That, first of all, where was everybody when they first heard this? Because I woke up to this. I woke up to
I
seeing
watched
this
it
video.
live.
I
You
watched,
watched it happen live?
too. Yeah.
Yes.
I was on the river, unfortunately.
What were you doing on the river?
I was
Hide your
floating the
body.
river.
Don't talk about it, Zach.
I was floating the river. I know you're in another state, but here in Arkansas, we still float the river for fun.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were in
No.
your pontoon phase.
I don't. Nope. That's gross.
Roxy, I get the feeling you don't like the river.
Well, I'm not going to float around in it. I have a pool, so I can't see
Well,
the
for
bottom. I don't want
context,
to get in there.
I was in the river back in our college town.
In
Oh,
Arkadelphia?
okay. I forgot. For
Well,
a
I
second,
don't want-
I was like,
I-
who is
I
Zach
don't wanna
talking
name
to? And I was like,
drop.
oh, yeah, I went to college with Zach.
Yeah.
That's really funny. So look, the best part about, and I know, well, I don't know if everybody's seen it, but I'm sure most of you have. Like when Angela first looks down from over the edge, and she, like when she first starts walking down, she starts the slow clap. And people down there's some people were in the bathroom, so they didn't catch on at first, right? But the people who were in the kitchen, they're looking up and they're just like, even Matt was clapping. They're slow clapping. And as soon as she starts, and to me, honestly, the inflection and the way she says, Matt, she puts that hard T at the end, which is so funny to me because she means it. Like it's like out of a movie. Like the slow claps like slowly die off, and they're like, wait, what? She's like, Matt.
I love when you hear
I
someone.
was just like, what is happening right now? What is happening?
Well,
So
that's
funny.
like when you hear the person from I think it's in the bathroom, and they're like, "Is this for real?" And like just in the midst of the whole monologue, it's so funny to me.
Yeah, and then just Matt's. I'm really glad the edit, which I didn't think did the speech as much justice as watching it live did, of course. But I really liked finally getting to see Matt's initial reactions to everything, and also just being like, "What is crazy eyes? What are you talking about? Where is any of this coming from?" Because from Matt's perspective, if you are Matt in this game, and I'm asking you to imagine this lightly, but like. This conversation happens. So much time is in between this conversation that she is referencing and the time that she actually calls out Matt. So much time that I, as Matt, would be probably confused as to what she's even referring to. And then having to like argue back in the meantime has got to be even worse. And then she drags in MJ to this and then drags in Matt's mom, even though Matt did mention his mom first.
I was about to say, Matt dragged in his mom.
Matt dragged
My mom
in,
is going to be watching this.
And then he cried about it. And y'all, I am not kidding. This full-grown person cried all day long, all day. He would like dry it up a little bit, and then he would just like just be sitting there for a moment. And I guess whenever he would see someone, I guess he took his opportunities when someone wanted to check on him, and he would just start crying again. She called you a brat. It's like, has no one ever been mean to you in your whole life? Like,
I will say,
I don't get it. I don't think that's
Angela-
that bad. She called him a brat.
Well, I think this adds to the Angela CBS plant theory, because what if that Angela's family was like, we're going to get you on this show and you're going to specifically call someone a brat in an iconic speech, and then you'll get every brat edit known to man on on Twitter, on TikTok, everywhere.
Weren't they in sequester? Weren't they in sequester before Charlie XCX released Brat?
No, Brat came out way before that.
Yeah,
it did.
Brat came out like a month and a half ago, I think.
Yeah.
Oh dang, I didn't hear about it for a while.
Yeah, it was
You were
kind
probably
of
on the river.
And
real
Probably
indie
missed it.
artist.
had on that blindfold.
Charlie
Yeah.
XCX,
to wear
pretty
the
under,
black
pretty
folk from Metal
underground.
Zach's like,
Maybe he's just really into brat stalls, and he got so triggered by it because he collects them all, and he was just like, "No, she's coming for my brat stalls." That's all.
And-
That's the only logical explanation.
He wins HOH. The room is just full of brat stalls everywhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get any
I
snacks
kind
or
of
a
wish
letter.
he had stayed now so they could do that, but Big Brother would never. Not to the golden boy. Look out, Jeff Schroeder. He's coming for your title.
He's going to start his podcast. He's going to join Riley's podcast.
Yeah,
maybe ours
honestly.
even. I don't know.
And you can't tell me that nobody has ever told Matt that he has expressive eyes. You can't tell me that, because every time like that he would get excited about anything, like not even like aggravated or anything, like he just is very expressive with his eyeballs, his facial features, really. Like, you can't tell me that nobody ever said anything about that.
He has
Please.
big ass eyes. Yes.
Ass eyes.
Well, they're not big, but he can make them big sometimes.
I'm moving
In
on.
fact, it was part of his talent during the talent show. Did you not see that? You probably didn't watch the talent show, but I did, because
I don't ever watch I don't watch the talent shows. I don't watch the Mafia games. I don't watch Mackenzie's cooking show that she asked if it went viral. I don't watch any of it. I'm sorry.
I know. And last night she
Zach,
gave us
stop.
a cooking recipe for chocolate chip cookies. Like, who doesn't know how to make that? We don't need the Toll House recipe that you memorized before you went in there, as if you're like Emerald Lagasse or something. So annoying.
What are you talking about? Why are you comparing them
I'm
to
begging y'all
chefs
to
when
let
we
me move on
literally
from this.
have Lisa, the celebrity
Supposedly,
cooking
allegedly.
chef, in there?
Mm-hmm. Well, according to Tucker, she's no chef.
I'm gonna play a video now to move on.
I love it.
So Kimmy Baker on Twitter did a nice reenactment of Angela's monologue for us, and I have been waiting to play this video for like 5 days now. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this as well.
So flattered that I am a threat to you. I am so freaking flattered. Do you know how much that makes me look like a badass to my grandkids? It's awesome, Matt. Thank you. Crazy eyes. You have freaking crazy eyes. And for the house, for this beautiful wonder group of people, and for the visitors that came to visit me last night, your performance was great. Great. It was absolutely great for a low-budget movie. I have not been myself. I haven't thought clearly. I haven't been able to remember people's names. I haven't even been able to remember the last conversation I had.
Even the
I'm
mumbles.
not even able to remember sentences and the sentences that are being said right in front of my face. I can't remember shit because I'm so sleep deprived. But that's it.
I'll just stop there. But the dedication, first off.
wouldn't have any time-
Guys, I want to have fun with all of you. Not you. Don't talk to me.
Not you, Matt.
Not you, Barrett. Don't talk to me.
Gladly.
So did y'all see her practicing all of this the night before?
I did
Because-
not see her practicing it, but I did see the
I
clips
did.
eventually.
I
I
did,
thought-
but I didn't.
Yeah. I thought she was just like, people practice doing stuff all the time on the feeds, and I thought she wasn't actually going to do it.
I didn't think she was practicing anything. I just thought she was talking to herself like a loon. But from here on out, I'm going to pay attention to her ramblings just to prepare myself for what may come.
All right, here's her practicing the night before.
And those who came to visit me last night, your performances were great for a low-budget
movie.
How did you know, Zach?
It's
That's crazy.
definitely it's not on the level of Felicia's sleep talking, but it's close.
No.
Not at
definitely not.
all. Definitely not.
You mean to tell me that Angela had all night to come up with all of this speech and rehearse it? And these are the best lines that she could come up with. I mean, it was wonderful. The inflection was great, but I mean, her burns weren't even that good. Like, I've seen children on the playground.
Roxy,
What?
this is the best TV we've gotten in years. Let us have this.
I mean, I'm gonna let you have it, Zach. But I'm saying,
I do agree, Roxy. Some of the lines
Like-
that she said really after the monologue, like I do love a good line of your words are shit, so you might as well put them back in your ass. But
yes,
good.
that was perfect.
That was really
and it
good.
was unrehearsed. And it was unrehearsed. It's so much better. Like,
But
I
you
wish
could
we had a
tell.
t-shirt that said that.
I think what makes part of the monologue great is that you can tell that she like forgot what she was going to say at some parts. Like when she says the low budget movie line and she just has that moment where she says, just great. That's just her. She just forgot what she was supposed to say next. And then she remembered. And then that's when the low budget movie came out. And that
She was actually
it made it better. I don't know.
She was actually giving herself a pat on the back because she was like, this is just great.
Whatever, she was self-aware in that moment of, oh my God, I'm standing in front of hundreds of thousands of people right now, technically speaking. Speaking
Yeah.
ill to this poor boy.
She should have
Well,
just said,
something else they didn't show is that the house guest that actually believed her, and they were like, yeah, that sounds legit. Like Tucker was pissed because he thought he was gonna have to. Did you? I don't know if you heard all of this. That Tucker was like Matt stood up and he thought he was like gonna bow up on her, and he was like his fists were clenched, and I know he's got like anger management problems, and I thought he's like I was ready to go, and I mean it's Tucker, and he's a wackadoodle anyway. I love him, but he is cuckoo. But like CBS didn't show any of that, where the other people were like, yeah, I could see that he, was threatening. Not like, I don't think she ever meant like a physical threat, like she was afraid of him. I think she's just afraid of him in the game, but
yeah,
whatever.
I will ask y'all, and because I don't want to spend the entire time just talking about Angela, because we do have plenty of stuff to go over. But Angela is a centerpiece to this week. She was the head of household who brought every bit of drama, whether it was her fight with Matt, whether it was her spat with Kenny that we saw in tonight's episode, or whether it was her fight with Lisa, which we are still yet to see because the feed's cut off for the entirety of it. And we've only gotten snippets of what happened during this exchange. So I'm going to ask y'all.
Show us CBS.
Yeah.
Give us the Lisa and Angela edits. The fans are clamoring for it.
We are.
I'm not.
But I will ask y'all, what do we take from Angela as a player from this week? Because she was approached with a very real alliance. And I think there is a timeline that's going to be said for later in the season for like, if Angela heard about this collective alliance and actually was truthful when she had that react. Because I remember that clip of her after she heard about the alliance being like, oh my God, I love the name. She's just like so enthusiastic. But then the episode, it immediately cuts to her in the DR saying like, I don't trust this at all. Kind of like her conversation with Matt, where Matt's like, well, not that Matt was giving her any sense of like calm at any point in the conversations, but her completely having two different reactions between the conversation and her DR self. But I'm just gonna ask, where do we see Angela going here? Is she an automatic nominee for some of these house guests to throw up there since we have three options, or is she someone that is not exactly a threat to them right now that maybe they could focus on other people? Because we still don't have any solidified alliances, true big alliances yet in this game.
I honestly think. Oh,
no, I was just gonna say I don't know, because it's like, in a way, she had a clear target. She got the target out, and so it's kind of like, who was she going for next? You don't really know.
Kenny.
Or well, I guess Kenny, yeah. Which is like, if you're not Kenny, why would
Lisa.
you go after? Or yeah, Lisa too. But if you're not one of those people that she like initially nominated, I don't know, why would you go after Angela? Because you're not Like, she didn't put you up, and you're not. I don't know. I just feel like she's a big enough target that if I'm in the game, I'm not going to put her up because someone else will do that. I'd rather do something else.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. Like I feel like she did all that. Yeah, I mean, it was good TV. But I think as long as her anger is not directed at me, then why would I go after her?
Right.
Like, it's like she's not after. I
mean-
honestly see her getting the Karen treatment, the Karen from BB5,
Thank you for clarifying.
BB
Yeah,
Canada
who
5,
is-
BB Canada 5.
Okay. I was
So-
like,
where
But-
she can get taken to pretty far in the game because I mean,
Karen
yeah,
got
she
second.
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if she's going to get final 2, but I think she can get far in the game, but I think that she has more agency than Karen as well. And I think that after this week, she did what she needed to do. She really didn't do anything like chaotic or anything in her noms or anything. She told people straight up, and she was
Right.
She got out who she wanted to get out at the beginning of the week. So I don't think her getting power in the future is going to be a problem for other people to keep her in the game. So I think that she's able to adjust herself well enough. Now, this is saying I hope that Grodner doesn't get Kenny to rig the HOH for Kenny to win. This is all on as long as Kenny doesn't win. I think she's good.
All right.
Mackenzie will put her up. Lisa will put her up. Kenny will put her up. And
Mackenzie
I don't really-
Mackenzie has her mind stuck on the 7-day romance that is somehow going to lead to marriage. Apparently, for
Their
them.
story's
she
not over. Their
doesn't.
story is literally not over, Zach. Their
she
story's
does not.
literally not over.
Mackenzie flat out told him last night, I have someone at home. So no. And
Didn't Danielle have someone at home too?
irrelevant. Irrelevant.
I think
Nick
there's
was
a lot.
different.
Everyone didn't Jared have someone at home too?
I was about to say
It
you could
doesn't
probably
matter.
find. I would love to know the statistics on when showmances in this game, if they specifically said they had someone at home before that showman started. How many of them?
It's true.
Because it seems to be consistent to
See,
me.
Thank you, Chad.
Kenny
you.
literally has a wife at home. That's not stopping him outside of the
Okay,
game to do other things.
But Kenny's a swinger, so supposedly.
I had to bring it up because I knew Barrett was going to say anything.
I'm gonna have a defamation lawsuit by Sweet Kenny K and Co.
Somebody
We're
put the
talking
pictures
about what
out
someone
there.
said in chat. Someone did say it in chat. So,
Was it on the wheel of discussion? I don't think so. I did not add that. I didn't do that.
Look, to be fair, I didn't read what was on the wheel of discussion, so
I'm going to distract everyone from continuing this topic by playing my favorite part of tonight's episode.
Chemo. Gentlemen, come.
The Price is Right.
Matt and Kenny. Matt and Kenny, the two of you have. Gentlemen, come on down. Chemo. Yes, Matt.
he said, "Come on
Kenny,
down," just like on
come
The Price
down.
is Right.
Now, Matt and Kenny, listen up. The two of you have only.
It's just a beautiful 25 seconds of television because you have, first off, the announcement itself. Chemo is the winner. I feel like everyone is just like, Chemo winning, we're on board. And then
Chemo.
the immediate elation, immediate cut to Angela as well, who is freaking out so much and scaring everyone so badly that they have no choice but to cut to the fish. Like, there's something crazy about this.
And well, it's because they've gotten used to it. Because for the last 3 days, anytime Angela speaks, they're like, hit the fish. And it's like, at this point, I know the fish better than I know the house guests. Like, cut
Sorry,
it out.
instinct. I keep going to the fish is what we've been doing constantly. And
Yeah.
then at the very end, you just have Chelsea come in with her mascot gear, completely take over the frame, which happened many, many times throughout tonight's eviction. I didn't think I was
There
going to
were
be
a
able to
lot
show
of
that clip
goofs.
otherwise. So I just wanted to throw that in there, especially to get away from where y'all were going.
I thought it was so awkward
What,
that they were
me
all
being a
like
swinger?
screaming. that they were all screaming and jumping for joy, and it was like, okay, but there's two people who are literally still on the block, and it was just like, and they had to like awkwardly like walk down into these people screaming and cheering that they were still on the
And
block.
that is why Angela has not to worry about next week.
Well,
Exactly.
and the funny part that happened right there was like Julie was like, y'all can go and try and campaign to people, but they were
Yeah.
so confused. They're trying to give their speeches,
So
and Julie's like, save it, shut up. Like, it was so funny. And
Yeah.
they're like, wait, what? And then Cedric, sweet precious Cedric, I love him, and I love Chelsea too. Then they walk over in front during all of that. And so then, like, when they actually gave their speeches, they had to use like a shot of just basically house guest reactions because they can't really see them at first. It was fantastic. I love the
Also-
chaos of the show tonight.
Speaking of Cedric, it is criminal that they didn't leave in him clapping at the veto ceremony.
I know.
And
He didn't know. Leave him alone. He's precious. He didn't know you weren't supposed to clap. Someone gave a speech and he was being polite.
Yeah, and literally Quinn going off, being like, I literally have to school people in the game and tell them when to not clap.
Well, that is annoying. No, Quinn's deal, like, he does really, really like Cedric. It's just that Cedric is in such a fantastic position and he has no idea what he's doing. In fact, yesterday he said he almost forgot that they were even playing a game. Like, he thought they were just hanging out. He's at summer camp.
Yeah, he's like, he's
so
just
cute.
kicking it, right? Is that what he said?
I mean, he
Oh my
is
gosh.
summer camp age. He's a child. And I think he's just precious.
Not
It-
can't
it, like-
be.
No, please no. I got upset whenever he cried like he started tearing up because he thought that he made Angela upset. And not because he was scared of her, but because he was like genuinely like, oh my gosh, I hurt her feelings. But then she's like, no. And he was all teared up and I was like, don't hurt him. He is just a child. He's so cute.
Welcome.
Cedric,
Well, welcome to the activity call.
dude. Stop.
Stop.
Okay. Yeah, I like Cedric as well. I don't know where he's going. I think he is the most likely to end up in an actual alliance that's real and full of real people and actually has a name and stuff. He's already tried to form that with, you got the 3 Cs, which are kind of like a light alliance at this point, which we can go
Mhm.
over whenever
Yeah,
the
I
wheel
feel
of discussion actually does come into play. But what were we going to say, Nick?
I was gonna say, I feel like that the triple C, whatever it is, there, I feel like that's pretty solid. The most solid-ish
it is.
thing that we have.
It is.
Yeah.
right
It's
now.
one
I
of the
feel like
most
that's-
solid ones in the house.
Yeah.
They're the most like coming back to each other and like circling back with conversations and stuff. That's the most solid out of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, with Quinn and Brooklyn added in, but Quinn knows that they're at the bottom, but he still is going to ride with it. You know, because he does camera talks all the time,
Mm-hmm.
He does.
and I love that.
He understands what we want, and we appreciate that.
He truly understands. Matt, not so much.
Joseph understands what we want. This isn't going to be like every other season. I vote to evict Matt.
I
Joseph,
love
yeah.
Joseph too.
He's been ready for
You know,
that
I
line
like
too.
weird people.
Uh,
I'm
okay.
weird.
So we got a lot of this Angela and Matt stuff out of the way. We don't have to go episode by episode here, but should I just do the wheel for funsies just to get us going, and then we can go off the wayside
Yes.
from there? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, the wheel itself still has things that I can add. If you have anything that you're just like, please add that, please put it in the chat, or Roxy, Nick, or Zach.
Wait.
If you think of anything, and BB18 is not a topic we will discuss.
Well, no, well, you literally have it on there in the middle, so everything.
True.
comes back to it.
Oh my god.
All roads lead back to
Garrett.
Glenn. Joey, sorry. Okay. I'm going to do a nice little spin. What are we going to go with? This would be a fun one.
Ooh,
Okay. Yes.
Y'all hear that robot voice whenever it lands on it?
No.
America Lopez's veto.
I thought it
Period.
was Ainsley.
That's my girl.
Okay.
Don't no one want Analyze.
We have the deep fake HOH. we have America's veto. Quinn is in charge of the deepfake HOH, which we got a little bit more info on in Sunday's episode, as well as America's veto power. But Quinn, I feel like we have a lot more to talk about with his, just because we actually saw some strategy being implemented with his power. And by that, I mean a lot of concerning strategy being implemented with his power.
Strategy in quotations.
Yeah. Because we saw
it is a
Quinn.
strategy. It's just not good.
Yes.
Well, it would have been good if he did not tell everyone about it.
Let me set the stage, Zach. It's okay. Save it. We will get there. You will be able to tell everyone about your thoughts. But Quinn, as we saw in the feeds, not only told Chemo, but also told Angela about his power, which is a choice. Is a choice in and of itself to just say that you have this power and that you can use it over the next 4 weeks, and that it'll be an avatar of a different HOH that is making all these moves. But here's the strategy that Quinn is thinking about using this power with for, and I'll let y'all decide how you feel about it. He is wanting to win the HOH in the upcoming weeks, one HOH, and he's going to use his power to overtake his own HOH to make people think that it's not him overtaking his own HOH so that he can get out big targets. And that is just, I think, objectively a bad idea. It's one thing to tell people about your strategy. It's one thing to have the strategy. It's another thing to combine both of those elements and feel like that you are actually making a solid game move. So I'm going to open up the floor because Quinn is a super fan. You would think that maybe just not telling someone that you have a power would be something that a super fan of Feedster, someone who loves the show, would have like pick up and be like, I need to actually keep this a secret. Knowledge is power, and having a power is power, and telling people that you have a power can be power. But in this case, to then have a strategy to just take over your own HOH and then pretend like it wasn't you, just kind of diminishes every sense of that. So,
yeah. And Jameson in chat nailed it. Whenever you get a power, you don't tell anybody. Why don't people get that?
Right.
For real. And to be fair, when Quinn told Angela, it was pre-monologue. Like, it was, it might have even been pre-nominations.
Yeah, it was. It was like the first. I think it was the first night of feeds, I believe.
He was trying to solidify something with her at that point, which would be, I mean, I still don't think he should have told her, but I'm just saying she wasn't quite, she hadn't shown her crazy all the way when he told her, but also he's told other people. And so I don't know what he's doing with that. That's silliness to me. And I don't understand how that's going to work. How are you going to take over?
Once you tell one person in the house, you basically told the whole house.
Well, yeah, but I don't understand how the deep fake thing works. Like, I mean, I understand the rules of it, but I don't understand how.
It's an invisible HOH, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, but.
And you have won the deep fake HOH.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, dude.
As winner of the second upgrade competition, your secret power is the deep fake HOH. With this upgrade, you will strip the head of household of all their power because you will secretly control their nominations. But here's the fun part. I will create a deep fake avatar of the reigning head of household that will communicate through my proto box. This fake will look and sound identical to the real HOH, but it will be you that controls what it says.
Woo! Okay, see, this is my problem. When we first heard this power, right, we had not seen yet, I mean, we had nominations, but we had not seen yet how the nominations were going to work this year. And so I was thinking, oh, they must be doing nominations differently this year in order for them to do what she just said and for it to work. But then they had the nomination ceremony, and there's Angela standing there with her bigger box of keys. And twisting them just like they've done the last few years. So they're saying for Quinn to use the deep fake that they're going to create this avatar where nobody is going to realize that it's not the person. So just all of a sudden they're going to do HOH different. Like, hey, for today's HOH, how about if we just use a screen? Like, nobody's going to think anything's weird about that. It's going to be easy for the HOH to be like, those aren't my nominations, and people to believe it. The point is, people are supposed to think it's the HOH. That's what a deep fake is. So I'm confused.
Yeah. Roxy, okay, I know you didn't. I know you didn't watch last season, but we literally had people get pied in the face for nominations. They were preparing us for this.
What the hell does that have to do with
that doesn't
this,
have anything to do with Roxy understanding the power.
We also had an invisible HOH last year. So
Zach, get back to me when you have something informative.
We literally had an invisible HOH last year.
I understand where you're coming from though, Roxy, because that was my first thought too. I was like, a deep fake is technically like, when you make a video or whatever of someone saying or doing something they didn't say. So like, how are they, like, if Barrett's the HOH and I have the deep fake and I use it to put up Roxy and Zach, and that's not what Barrett's noms are. Like, what?
How dare you?
Like,
I think that's just them. I think that's just them trying to be extra and be like, "Ooh, technology, we're hip now.
But
we know the word."
That's what they were going to
for
do.
one random week. Like, I get where Roxy's
that makes
coming
no
from.
sense.
They
like,
literally
for
hired
one
a
week we're
TikTok
just
star.
gonna have.
They hired a TikTok star for one video.
Okay, but like when you're in the house and you're a contestant playing the game, that is weird as hell to me for it to just be like, oh, well, we're going to do this screen today instead of you coming up there with the key box. And like, it's just so, I don't understand how it's going to like look exactly.
Right.
I get how it
that would be
works,
so sus.
Spoiler alert, it's not going to look good. I'm just letting y'all know.
Oh, I mean, look at the AI already.
Looks good. There's no continuity to the rest of the HOHs. Well, this one's going to be completely different. And then the real HOH is going to be like, those aren't the people I nominated. And everyone's going to believe them because this one HOH reign is completely different.
Well, wait.
I mean, it said that they were going to do it differently. So what's the point of that? I'm so annoyed with CBS.
So
now that I'm thinking about it, sorry, go ahead, Barrett. Go ahead.
y'all are just exhausting me with this power. So I had a feeling I knew what this power was going to look like up until I heard that you could also spread rumors as the HOH that the HOH wouldn't, and I don't even know if that's true. If that's the case, then I do think they're actually going to just take away the HOH and put them somewhere else for like a few days or something, like up until the nominations. And then they are just on a screen or something. It may look horrible. It probably will look horrible. Either that, or what they mean by you can still spread rumors is that the HOH still does the normal key turn and they're there in person, but it's just different faces that pop up on the wall. And instead it's Quinn's nominations. And what they mean by you can still spread rumors as the HOH is like, you're just also in the game spreading rumors about them as the HOH. I don't know what that means exactly. It could just mean that, which is stupid. But that's the only way that I can imagine it going, is that I think the most likely one is that the HOH is still in the room. And by avatar that looks like the HOH, they literally just mean they're in the room turning the keys, but it's not their nominations. And that's the only difference.
That's not an avatar. What are you talking about right now?
Listen, they say a lot of things that don't mean anything. Okay. I'm just trying to have this make sense.
No.
Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. In the nomination box are I will turn the keys of who will be nominated for eviction. The first house guest that I evicted for that I've nominated for eviction is here's a video explaining. Here's a video explaining. I have nominated.
Did you know what you were going to say before you started talking?
He did not.
I
have nominated Kenny and Lisa for eviction. Oh my gosh. Cut to the diary room. Oh my gosh, there's a literal video of me that is not me. I have never said those words in my life. It's crazy looking at a video that looks like me, but I know it's not me because I'm sitting in the chair. I have never said those words. What is going on, big brother? Ainsley, I know you're behind this. What the heck?
Right. Chat says CBS should call me, and I agree. And also, Jameson chat says this is on par with his Jasmine impression. It
The Jasmine impression.
It's been a while. It has been a while since I've heard a good Jasmine impression.
Don't do it, Zach. It's not an invitation.
It's out of season anyway.
Yeah.
I do hope that in the Ainsley box, because they did put that there. So I could easily see them making a replica 3D version of a house guest and just popping them in there. And then like say who's a random HO, like say Kenny wins HOH and he's just like, hello, this is your real HOH Kenny. I have nominated Angela and Angela and Angela. And then like they're just supposed to believe that. So
Yeah.
I could see that happening too.
He's like,
And then in the avatar, fake Kenny is gonna be wearing the fake hair hat thing that he has that I wish he would stop wearing because it's obnoxious.
That's not his
And
real.
he'll be
Wait, that's
eating-
not his real hair.
I
And he'll
can
be
tell you
eating
the number
pineapples,
of people
too.
who say, "Wait, why does Kenny all of a sudden have hair?" Like as if he can grow that much hair just overnight.
He's so impressive. He's so
He
good.
He's
actually
that much of
shaves
a
every
man, I
morning.
guess. Like he's got some sort of endocrine problem. I don't know.
That's why he shaves his head every day, because it just grows so fast. He can't. It's like Evan
He's
Almighty.
like a chia pet.
Yeah. And then I don't want to leave out Mackenzie's power, because Mackenzie also has a power, and it's America's veto. And we got to see more of that talked about this week, just because she had the ability to use it and probably could have used it to, help her own game in a way. But thankfully, Mackenzie actually had some good acumen with her game and didn't use it. Use it to save yourself. Although Matt would have been a close ally and you would have kept him around. That would have been great and all. But look out for
The
yourself.
story's not over.
Their story. It's literally not over, Zach. The fact that you acted like it was over when it wasn't. All he did was leave the house. You think he's gone? You think he's gone?
What if he whispered in his ear, in her ear, like, "This is your fault. She could have used America's veto, but I'm going home because of you. Thanks."
I hate you so much, just so you know. And he just like walks out the door, sprints out.
America Lopez is clapping in the audience.
Yes, exactly.
As she should be.
Somebody in chat said that when Kenny wears the hat with the hair, that's not really a hat hair. It's his twin. His twin has hair.
But
The most obvious twist of all time, but we've just been overlooking it because of a visor.
I will say,
Yes.
wait, we forgot the twin twist was unleashed.
Yes.
What?
Where are we going with this one?
Roxy, did
So-
you not see the other twin? Like,
Oh, where? What do you
Zach,
confirmed.
just say
know?
whatever it is.
it's been confirmed. I sent it in the chat.
Please, God, just say what you said us.
Please.
Cedric and Leah are twins.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
because they
my
because they
God. 'Cause they
matchy
dressed
matched
alike
last night.
yesterday?
Okay, whatever. God, you're wasting my time. You got to go to a movie in like 15 minutes. Quit.
But here's my thing. I really hope that America's veto does not get used. Because you know why? If it gets used, we all know because of the casual ass viewers who think that they have a voice. Okay, I want to have this conversation
Wow.
as well, since I have limited time. To the viewers, Angela is by far the best casting choice ever in the past few years that we have had. It's not my fault. It's not CBS's fault that y'all are a bunch of pansy losers who think that because there are bullying or because there are actual arguments, there's actual good TV on, that you are automatically going to drag her through the mud and be like, bullying is so wrong. Why are we allowing this? CBS, they need to have psychology screenings for these crazy people, when y'all were literally not saying anything about Taylor getting bullied in 24. Like, be for real. Get on planet Earth, because I don't know what planet y'all are on right now, because y'all are being freaking ridiculous with all this crap. Leave my girl Angela alone. Hashtag Angela Queen forever. Anyway, getting to this, if America's veto is used, Angela will be the replacement that America chooses, because somehow Cameron got fan favorite. I don't know how. Last year.
Who's to say? Anyone's guess as to how that happened. It's also like, who would have thought that Kenny was a huge Cam fan coming into this season? And then
what a shock.
I think, who was he having that conversation with the other night about he didn't like his
Matt and Quinn.
Yeah,
it was in the kitchen. Matt and Quinn, and Cedric was in there too, but he wasn't really contributing. But yeah, told
Cedric
me. I didn't even need to know. I could have told you that.
You would have quite liked Izzy, I believe, Roxy. You would have been.
Yeah. Well, I did.
Izzy
I
was
watched
so
the first
good.
like 2 weeks, and then Leighton got sick, and so I didn't watch anymore. But Zach, do you father and son, Zach, do you think that the people to whom you were speaking to, yelling at, calling losers, do you think that your message is going to be heard from this low budget podcast, this B movie podcast? Do you think that they're going to hear it?
I mean, we get 500 views from someone, so
it's an identity thing. He doesn't want to reveal. He doesn't want to reveal the identity.
He's
also, you said B movie right as when it crossed this picture. Just so you know, Roxy, and I could not put
intentional.
It up at the time.
Yeah, intentional.
Can I just say, Kathy vibes from the veto competition in week 1. I love it. I'm glad that they did that. I loved the competition. I love that you could get rid of letters. I thought they did great. Just wanted to say that. Also loved the HOH competition. I don't have competitions on our wheel of discussion. I also liked that one. It changed every single round. It had new rules every single round. You had 2 of the oldest house guests in the final round duking it out for the first HOH. Love it. Give me more of that. Where has that been?
Angela was mad at Joseph too about the spelling competition, because she thought that he deleted some of her letters, and she got really bent out of shape about that, and that it was intentional. She's very paranoid. I don't know if you've gathered that yet, but she makes up more scenarios than are actually occurring, like, in the world. She's something, but I don't know if you saw that. And also, Quinn said that he made a Technotronics joke during the comp, and nobody got it, and that made my heart hurt a little bit.
That does suck to hear.
To be fair,
not the joke. I'm sure the joke was great, but it sucks to hear that nobody got the joke.
Well, I was about to say, to be fair, it's about someone that I don't particularly care for. So if some people didn't get it, I don't care.
Technotronics lived on for seasons,
classic.
Though.
Yes, that is.
I'm just talking about who it relates to, not the
who.
actual
Russell
thing.
or Ron? Are you talking about Russell?
Are you talking about
Jeff?
I'm talking about Jeff. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know, because Russell was yelling at Jeff, Technotronics, when he's over there on that.
That's what I think about
machine with this machine ball.
Yeah. What a time we lived in. 15 years ago, that was our television. That was what we got.
Speaking of 15 years ago, 17 years. It's been 17 years.
What was that transition?
What's going on?
We were talking. No, wait. We were talking about competitions.
You're really good at math.
Yeah, no, 17 years. BB-8 was the last. BB8 was the last season where a straight male did not win any of week 1 competitions.
That's right. That's Kale's dream. It's coming true finally.
Queen.
Kale said, I've been waiting for this day. One day there will be a day where no straight man wins in week 1. Kale, it finally happened. We got to get Kale on this podcast.
Chat said Zach doesn't care about a lot. It's true.
But
He
a great
doesn't.
stat. Thank you, Zach. That is an important thing to say, especially with, I don't know, you have a lot of recent seasons where you do just have the stereotypical jock winning that first HOH and then coasting into a win, whether it be Cody Calafieri or whether it be Jackson Mickey or whether it be who else am I throwing into this mix now? Who is we're going back now, I guess again.
Oh,
Those 2 examples were enough. I'm gonna stick
Speaking
with
of
those.
15 years ago, remember
Yeah.
season 12?
I do. Speaking of this number, let's talk about a different number. In fact, the number that I want to talk about now.
Well, do
Speaking
y'all
of 15 years ago. ABC.
do y'all think that this trend is gonna stay though? That we're actually gonna have competitions where it's actually what's it called?
Equitable.
Yeah, equitable.
I hope so. I think
I hope
this
so
is
too.
this is a good start. I sure hope they really lean into more, especially coming off of Reindeer Games, which I did not watch, but I hear that people really enjoyed the competitions. That
Whoa, Barrett, you might have to leave. Like,
Stop putting letters in my box, Cody.
that's not inspiring me to watch Reindeer Games. I don't know what I was supposed to.
it was good, Barrett. You missed out.
I'm sure. That's what I always hear.
I
But-
don't know why they got rid of the spelling comp though. Like, I don't know when the last time they had it was, but I don't know why they got rid of it.
The veto comp that they did this week.
Yeah,
I believe it's been about 10 years since they did the last
was
one.
18 the last one?
No,
I'm
I think
not-
it
I
was-
God.
I know
I'm
you're
being
not doing
serious.
trying to do that.
Yeah, I'm not doing a bit.
Oh my
No,
I just
I bel-
remember it because of the Tozarks.
I don't think they did it in 18. I could be completely wrong, but I thought it would have been at least in 16, and since they tried that competition. But that
No,
could just be
I'm-
me.
Yeah. Okay.
But speaking of 10 years ago, do y'all want to spin the wheel of discussion?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
Please get us back on course because we have derailed.
Who would have thought we'd derail on this crazy week of Big Brother that we would forget to talk about a bunch of things? Lisa, just
Like
Lisa.
Big Brother.
Yay.
Ugh.
Okay.
Nick, you can go first on her.
I love her, and I know that Roxy does not. So, I think that she is giving great TV right now. So, I didn't watch too much feeds like live this week, but like one of the moments I
No wonder
did
you like her
watch-
then.
Shut up. One of the moments I did watch that I did like of her was right after the nominations when like her and Angela were in the room together and she was like dragging Angela to her face, but like in a good way. And it was really funny looking back because she was like, you can't even play in veto this week and stuff like that. And yet she definitely could. So she didn't really know what she was talking about, but she was still eating Angela up to me. And it was great. And I feel like, yeah, she like pisses people off or whatever. But I mean, I love that she won the veto, pulled herself off, even though I don't think she probably would have went home. But I loved that about her. And I don't know, to me, she gives like old school Big Brother. Like Zach said with Angela, I just feel like she doesn't give a crap. And I love that about her. I just like really like her energy. And she is team fun feeds
Ew.
for me. She is team fun feeds. I said
No,
what
she
I
is
said.
not.
She's giving Raven.
Oh.
And Raven was fun feeds. Like, come on.
No.
Look at how
No, no, no,
look
no,
at
no,
how
no,
many
no.
memes there were of Raven. Like,
I feel like she's not Raven, and Raven was not fun feeds. Both of those can be not true. So I'm going to put that on the record that I don't believe either of those things are true.
I concur. Like Nick is high right now, obviously, because
Paul
not
was
good.
Paul was a really good cook, actually.
Look, you said one thing that really cleared it up for me. You said I haven't watched a lot of food. And this I feel is imperative for you to get what I'm telling you. She sucks. She's the worst. I cannot stand her.
I'll play devil's advocate. She's not that bad, but she's definitely not. Oh my gosh, I want to change the camera to watch Lisa.
I want to punch her in the face.
Because
Oh,
like y'all are talking about Angela being crazy. Lisa spirals just about as much. She literally thought she was the mastermind just because she won the veto. Like, there's only one thing you're gonna do, girl. You're gonna play the veto on yourself. Like, you're not gonna orchestrate a whole coup. But
but it would have been fun to watch though if she tried.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying.
I think it's just funny just because she's on her own planet and she's trying to do these things and she doesn't have the equity to pull off things, and I don't think she's not socially aware.
Equity.
Well, because she's not socially aware that people find her annoying, like in the house, like Tucker.
Wait, what? You're telling me Tucker
can't stand her,
finds her annoying, and I have a clip to back that up?
Oh, please.
Like Matt's gotta get the fuck out of here, bro. He's Lisa is like disingenuous, kind of snake in the grass. Like, I mean, she just comes out dumb fake. Yeah. But Matt, I mean, and Lisa, Matt is the same. Matt is the someone that is giving. Lisa would be someone that's like, Lisa would stab people in the back and love it, and I think that's Matt. And because he fucking threatened her and did all that shit. And he wants to use his power.
I will be searching for everything that everyone has said about Lisa this entire week, including Tucker pushing her in the pool.
I know. He literally just told me that. And he's like, bro, because like, I know you want to. I'm like, bro, you put me up there, dude. I'm fucking knocking out. I'll be the pawn. And he didn't.
This is also my opportunity just to show off Tucker and his weirdness, which I hope we can get into a little bit today. We may not, but.
No, please. Because he's so weird. And I love every bit of his weirdness. Like, I was fully unprepared to love him like I do. Like, if I can pick a camera that he's on, I'm watching that because I don't know what he's ever going to say or do. And he stands, it's like his body wants to be a contortionist, but his mind is like, stand up. And there's like a constant fight. I texted y'all the other day that Tucker looks like an upside down question mark, and I don't know any other way to explain it. Like, he's constantly like just
he's
hunched over.
Yeah, he like contorts his body a little bit when he really wants to make a point, which is really
he's so serious about it. Like,
he has his body positioning is the same as Nosferatu.
Like,
virtually, yeah.
He like looks like a bunch of different people have morphed into one person, and it's just so bizarre. But
well, the rumor is that there's actually two of them, so maybe there's something to this.
I know.
Forces are at play.
I think he likes Rubina too. I think he's got a little crushy crush on her.
Well, maybe
cute.
his back is doing this because of the glitter that Lisa is adamant about putting in everyone's food.
Yes.
Dude, if she reached over my shoulder and tried to put glitter on anything that I had, food or otherwise, she'd be shitting glitter for the rest of her life because I would shove that so far down. Like, bitch, back up. Like, what is she doing? I can't with her.
She's giving Mabel.
You took that so far, so quickly.
It just is so annoying to me. She's always like, "Who wants glitter? Nobody, bitch. Back up." She can't. Nobody. We're not two. I haven't wanted glitter on anything since I was a toddler.
Lisa's her Bowie Jane.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to come in here and vent for a second.
No, you gotta let it out. You gotta
do
let it
your
out.
nails or something, or
It's like,
like
are you
do your
you're
guys'
doing-
hair.
you're
I am
handling-
fucking cleaning floors over and over. Look at, I got the fucking Swiffer right next to my bed just in case I gotta bust something out.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That was talking about how he needs to distract himself from Lisa by doing random things around the house, including
did you see where she tried to make everybody do? Well, she did eventually, like the meditation circle.
Yeah.
Dude, she was not going to start that circle until everybody came in there and like she'd go up to people and be like, hey, we're going to meditate today, which is totally fine. But they didn't want to. They'd be like, oh, I've got to go, I don't know, like pick my nose. Wait, they would just make up something like weird. And so after everybody has given her like some sort of an excuse, she is sitting in the living room floor and telling people as they walk by, I'm just waiting on everyone to trickle in. Like she is not starting until everyone gets in there. And then finally, once people are like, they go in there and they sit down and then they go, Lisa, can you please come to the diary room? And I thought it was so funny. I mean, she did it. She was like, I need to do this first. And then Cam led the meditation thing. But like, girl, they don't want to.
She doesn't know. She even got told. She was one of the few people that actually got told in this little trio that ended up voting for Matt to stay, that Matt was probably going to leave, or at least it was heavily alluded to her. And she was just kind of like, oh, no, probably not though, right? He's probably not going to get voted out. And then just like went about with her day. Like that wasn't like she was not, it was not indicated to her brain at all that was like a real thing that could happen. But yeah,
Well, and
very
she's-
unaware right
she's-
now of her place in the game.
Well, I
Yes.
just think that Barrett, if you want to play the music, I'll do my outro real quick.
Oh, yeah. We can do that.
What? But
It's
we're
not-
not
I wanted-
done.
I am though. I
Okay, well, why would we play the outro music?
no the outro. No, I'm talking. I'm
his,
gonna.
like, yeah, he's gonna do the.
Yeah.
He's gonna set us up for next week when we come
He
back.
needs his special moment.
We did this. It was the thing. You had to be there for it. All
I
right, Zach's got to
wasn't.
go, everybody. So he's gonna do his thing, and please tell everyone the thing that you always say at the end of the podcast too, before you go.
Okay.
But you don't have to think about that right now. But I will play. I do want you to set us up for next week, even though we don't have an HOH or anything. You could even throw in some last week tidbits if you want to. But all right, everyone's gonna say goodbye to Zach after we do this, and go ahead, Zach.
Who?
Oh no, Zach, I hate to
We
break
don't
it to
hear
you. It didn't work.
What?
The music was playing, and then I couldn't hear you
Yeah.
with the music.
Oh,
So let me just
Eh.
try it one more time. This may be a flop. Let me just turn down the volume a bit. Maybe it was on me. Maybe it was on me. This worked every other time. Okay. Let me make sure your audio settings are good. Nobody leave. Nobody leave.
the show will go on still.
3, 2, 1.
Who will win? Yeah. Okay. Who will win the HOH competition and follow up Angela's hot ass week? And find out what happens after the Matt leaving to go see his mama fiasco. And see, will Tucker push Lisa in the pool again? Find out next week with a whole lot of glitter thanks to Lisa on Big Brother. Welcome to our reality. Or perception is reality. Our reality.
Oh,
Love one another. Stay with
beautiful.
Stay with us.
Stay with us.
Stay with us.
Zach, thank you. Oh, he left. I was gonna give him a whole out. I guess he really had to leave. That was crazy.
He has got to get to the movie theater. What? And what? Why did he do that?
What do you mean?
He
We
knew
always
all
do
week.
that.
He
Oh, I
knew
don't like that.
no.
That's
He knew
scary.
all week that this is the one day. We said we're only going to do one podcast a week because we just can't Like, this is it. And then 5 minutes before, he's like, by the way, I'm going to go to the movies tonight. The movies are open 6 other days.
This one's
I'm just
only
saying.
open today at 10 p.m. Okay,
A special theater that you don't know about.
Yes.
You're not cool enough, okay?
That was not Roxy's first time hearing it. It's still amongst her first times hearing it, Amanda.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I saw that chat. Not my first time. I just didn't understand what we were doing. I forgot. Yeah. I didn't podcast for a whole year.
Yeah, she's clawing her way back into this game, really. Ara, I should say Tucker's twin did not, or I guess not twin, but Tucker's brother did not comment back to me. I have not heard from Tucker's brother. Just to give you all an update.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was a whole moment last week. I do want to keep talking about Lisa though. I know we had a Zach departure in the middle, but I did find a clip of her adding the glitter to the have-nots who just came off of being have-nots food immediately after seeing that their food was unglittered.
I think you muted it.
I did.
It's full of food, real quick. No, I don't want to.
I can't right now. But thank you so much.
Oh,
I can't do glitter right now. There's a glitter shortage, ma'am.
Yeah.
There's a glitter shortage.
Just the no. I mean, you feel like, I'm good. Like, how does she not know? How do you not know that people don't want you to put glitter in their food? You should just know off the bat that people don't want you to put glitter in their food.
I think you should know before. I think you should know to not even take the glitter in the house at all in the first place. Because, I mean, we're not at Disney World. Nobody wants glitter in their food. You're adults. I don't want glitter.
I mean, Lisa's also an adult who just happens to carry around copious amounts of glitter that may or may not be affecting people's stomachs as they ingest way too much glitter. You can't, just because you put the word edible in front of it doesn't mean that you should put it on everything.
I mean,
and that may be a hot take.
If you eat it, right? Technically, like if you can eat it, it was edible. You were able to eat it.
I don't know about that stance, Roxy. I mean, there's a lot of
it's true.
You can't just say that. What if people listen to you? What if people are eating their furniture right now because you just said that?
Barrett, nobody is listening to me. They have never listened to me. Let's be clear.
Okay.
And I stand by it. If you can eat it, it's edible. Bam.
Whatever you say.
You can't argue.
Well, Roxy's established that she is the biggest Lisa fan right now. We can confirm
she's
that.
She's probably very nice, and maybe this week she's going to calm down and I'm going to change my mind about her. But this week, she was on every nerve that I've ever had.
That once she won the veto, she literally wore it for like 12 hours.
Yes.
Like, she did not take that thing off. And I lived for that because that would be me if I was in that house. Like, yeah.
What if the people on the feeds don't know yet? You know, I would just keep telling myself that, like, they don't know. How are they supposed to know if they don't see me with the medallion around my neck right now?
Right. Hamster watch.
I don't think that's it.
Right here.
Here is Tucker pushing Lisa into the pool. Hard transition from that, but this was also planned. First off, Lisa asked Tucker if he would push her in the pool so they could get camera time, and that's exactly what happened. And so here's that.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Psych.
Oh my God! They put that in.
She told me to, guys. Everyone chill out.
Because I love him. Because as a nominee and the veto winner this week, surely she wasn't going to have any camera time at all. What could she do to get more? She's not helping herself here. Someone has said that Lisa is my new Jasmine.
I did get vibes like before we started. I was gonna do the your girl Lisa instead of the your girl Jasmine today, just because it did remind me of that. I had another clip of Chelsea talking about Lisa to the cameras. At least I thought so. Oh yes, I do.
Oh yeah, when she vented, it was so funny. I love Chelsea.
Lisa's a lot. I just can't. You just have to come in here and just vent for a second. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my confessions. That's my predictions. I hope, even though I'm downgraded, I hope I get to see Auntie Julie tomorrow. I hope I get to talk to Auntie Julie tomorrow. Other than that, over and out. Love you, Uncle BB. Love y'all online. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm not trying to win HOH, so if I lose, it's not that I suck at competitions. It's strategic. Okay, over and out.
Imagine doing a little 30-second check-in to say hi to your family, to give an update on your strategy, yet you still devote a third of that time to just talking about how much you can't stand Lisa. That's how much that she is affecting these players in the game, is that they can't even have side conversations or just go about their day without thinking about her and wanting to talk about how annoyed they are with her, which is very unique, I feel like, position to be in a week into the game, where you have to now spend 83 more days with Lisa. So let's see if they can handle it.
I like Chelsea, by the way.
Yes.
Off topic, but
I love her. Another person, I mean, you know how it is, like preseason, y'all are always like, how do you feel about this player? And I'm like, I don't know. I only have like a 3-sentence biography, so I don't really know how I feel about them. I try though. I try to be like, oh, I think they're, whatever, insert adjective. But I really like Chelsea a lot. I'm anxious to see her actually get to play this week, because she did a lot of stuff strategically, but she was not able to compete in anything. So we'll see.
Yeah, like we said, she is one of the few people who actually could be in a solidified group, at least more so than other people have been. And whether or not Chelsea's involved in the 3 Cs, or whether she's involved in some offshoot of Barbershop or the collective or whatever we have forming, or
the Barbershop is non-existent.
Yeah. I mean, an offshoot, the 4 people out of that storage room kind of hunkering down, which can we say that barbershop meeting that they showed in tonight's episode was definitely from well before the veto meeting? Am I wrong in thinking this?
No, you're correct. Yes, when they were in the storeroom. Yeah, that was before. And not only that, did you see, I don't know if they showed it on the actual episode or not, but when they were doing a barbershop meeting, and from one of the angles, Chelsea, her face, she looks up at the camera and she's like, nope. And everybody's still standing around her and nobody notices, and it makes me laugh. And I was like, oh my gosh, she does not like them.
No, it's wonderful. A lot of this cast does not like each other, and that is an amazing thing that I think Angela definitely helped this week. That's why having a good I guess an HOH that is chaotic is fun, because it sets a certain tone. And I really feel like this group of people, the amount that they already dislike each other, is going to really bode well as the season goes along. Because you also have a bunch of people who seemingly want to play the game hard but hate conflict. I don't think Joseph is going to be good when stuff actually starts coming back on him, which it kind of did this week. He didn't even do that much, and it felt like everything that Joseph tried just bit him immediately, and it was all involved with talking with Angela. Because
I was gonna say most of that's Angela related, though.
Yeah.
But Angela,
even
next time, if she ever is HOH again, they need to conveniently have the TV be broken for that week, so that she can't just sit up there in her lair and watch them. And you know how sometimes when you're people watching and you do a little, well, maybe you don't, but I do, because I'm weird. You do a little fun game where you make up whole conversations about what these strangers are doing, even though it's probably not what they're talking about, but you're just no, okay, just me. Okay, cool.
It's only
anyway. Yeah. Well, so I do that. When I see people and I'm people watching, I'm thinking in my head, oh, they're fighting over whatever, and I'll just make it up inside my head because I think it's funny. Guess what? I know that's not real. For Angela, she watches the TV and she sees somebody past another person to throw something in the garbage, and she's like, "Yep, I knew it. They're all plotting against me." Like, what? She's throwing away a wrapper. What are you talking about? Like,
yeah, I think it
Just
was
saying.
specifically with like Cam and T-Core, I believe, like had a combo that she saw on her little spy cam, which yeah, she was locked in on that. I don't know what's gonna happen when she's not in power and she doesn't have that ability to just look at everybody the entire time. Like, is she just gonna sneak off when the HOH isn't in the room and just like get on the TV again and just like scan every little thing that she can? Because I don't know. She was just so attached at the hip to that TV on the wall that I don't know how she's going to play the game otherwise at this point.
Attached at the hip. I just visualized it.
She's gonna take it off the mount on the wall and carry it with her.
She was walking around with it.
Yeah, she
She's
packed
gonna-
it
It's an iPad.
downstairs.
Gwen, do you have an HDMI cable? Oh god.
He probably does.
He definitely does. Yeah, he packed one specifically for this moment. Okay,
Just
so
in
we were
case.
on Lisa and now we're back at Angela. So I guess that means it's time to spin that wheel again.
Yes, I think so.
Let's all right. All the fights.
Perfect.
I really hate that y'all can't hear it, the voice that comes out of that whenever it spins the wheel. It's just
It's
like
weird 'cause I can hear like the and then I don't
Yeah.
know.
no, it's like a robot. It just says all the fights. And it's great. It's like what Kenny's gonna be is the deepfake HOH. It's me, Kenny.
Sweet Kenny K.
Hi, everybody. Sweet Kenny K here to give my real nominations with my real keys. Oh my god, I want this. I want him to use this power so badly. Oh yeah, okay. All the fights.
All right, fights.
We had a
fights.
few to go over. We already went over one at the beginning of the podcast. We talked about the Crazy Eyes monologue between Angela and Matt, instigated by Angela and forces that don't really exist at all, featuring Matt, is really how that worked out. We also had a little moment between Angela and Kenny, which also revolved around Matt, of course. That happened in the kitchen, shown on tonight's. Was that tonight or last night? Did they show that? I can't even remember when they showed this. It was tonight because it was after the veto ceremony. So Kenny
Correct.
and Matt are apparently just the biggest buddies on earth. After a week in the Big Brother house,
Well,
we
at
saw.
that point, it was like 5 days, not even a full week.
No, it was not even a full week at that point. I mean, they had that conversation about Matt and his family probably on night one, I think, or the first. Yeah, that had to be like the first night. That was after their introductions, and I think they had the same outfits on when Kenny and Matt were having that conversation about his dad. And
Twinsies.
really, from that point, they just became best of friends. But it seems like that was more in Kenny's mind. Am I crazy? Like, they weren't just hanging out all the time, but Kenny didn't really talk to anybody but Matt was talking to everybody else. I don't know.
Right.
Like, was this a one-sided
Matt-
best friend?
Yes. Right. It wasn't that they weren't aligned. Like Matt didn't feel like he needed to do any work. Like, he already knew that Kenny already told Matt that he is indeed the center of the universe. So Matt knew he was on lock. So he tried to, tell everybody else why they needed him in their life. And they did not think that was true, but whatever. But yeah, so Kenny, his number one is Matt. Matt's number one is not Kenny at all, which that's what was so bizarre. And first, it is 4 days. I don't care how much you like somebody after 4 days. If you go there to win $750,000, you're not supposed to go, yeah, I'm just going to give it to that guy. Like, what?
Yeah.
That would have pissed me off too.
I hated Kenny's whole DR tonight where he was like talking about how like, oh, I have a lovely wife at home and this, that, whatever. So like, if I was his wife, I'd be sitting there like, are you kidding me right now? Like, you're gonna like ask to be voted out and earn us like get us this money that could help us, and instead like you're trying to, I don't know, I just thought it was so weird. And I was like, you've known this guy for literally a week. please relax.
Well, look, and not only that, he was full of it. I can tell you exactly why Kenny was saying those things, because this is Kenny's version of giving up. Like when he did his DR tonight, and he was like, "And I'm going to selflessly Okay,
Right.
no, you're a chicken. That's what that is. Is you got in there and you were like, yeah, I suck and I cannot beat any of these people. Like he's having that realization, and it's embarrassing to him because, I mean, well, just look at him. He's like, you know, the type. And so rather than admit that, he's just going to pretend like it's like a selfless act. I mean, I'm sure he does miss his wife and his children. That's got to be really difficult. But please, Kenny, we see through that, sweet Kenny, whatever. Give me a break. It's so annoying.
Guilt and stuff. So that's kind of like a dilemma that I'm in right now.
You're telling me you have no desire to fight in the arena for your life in this game because you don't want to go and beat him? That's what I'm hearing.
I have loyalty to him.
My mind just went.
Yeah. Well, mine went a couple of times too by some of your decisions. So
Kenny's trying to be a hero. He's like, I can't flip on my boy Matty. Oh man, Matty's so cool. I gotta put him first over me, my family, my food truck. He's known him for a week. A week.
Exactly, Quinn. I love Quinn.
I do too. I think Quinn is like one of the most like sane people in the house, like which I was not expecting coming in. But yeah, I think he's definitely like the most level-headed. But yeah, that was me watching this whole scene. Literally, I was like, is he kidding? Like,
I thought this would be my time to talk about Kenny. So Kenny had some crazy like edits, I thought, this week. First off, all of his sweet Kenny K things, don't know, like I don't remember him saying that at all in his preseason interviews. So the fact that sweet Kenny K came out in full force for every single episode. Also just I don't feel like Kenny is ever doing anything that is not completely like scripted in some fashion in the DR. That's the first issue that I have, especially with the things that he's saying. And then during this fight with Angela, he just says out loud, not only that he's pretty much ready to quit, but that Matt is his #1 ally. And there is no true mark of a bad game player than just saying out loud, he's my #1 ally, and it being actually the truth that he is your #1 ally. And it is week 1 in this game, and you're trying to fight to, I mean, like Angela ate in the Matt argument just for being crazy and having really great one-liners. She ate in this Kenny fight because she made every point that a fan would make in this fight of just saying, you're giving up your game for him. Like, it just,
I mean,
really
you don't
putting
even
this
have
into
to be a
perspective.
fan. You just have to be somebody who is like competitive. Like,
yeah,
it could have been a multiplication test in elementary school. I would not have let, you know how the teacher used to, give you your time test. Sorry, the teacher in me just came out. Okay, children, you have however many minutes. Anyway, like I'm not going to let somebody else beat me. Get real. Well, you know my history with game playing in my house.
Yes. I think it's also baffling that like in this same argument, he has said explicitly that I don't want to win the AI arena comp. I would rather Matt win it, and I would throw it to Matt if that was the case. And I swear to God, I need to go rewatch this, but it immediately cuts to a DR of him saying, I'm going to win that arena AI comp, and I'm going to take myself off the block, and I'm going to save Matt too, because we're going to get the votes. And I'm like, where did no one oversee this? How did this happen? This is the most inconsistent man I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that they made it even more inconsistent with this DR, that they cleared, and now I know it's scripted because that's not Kenny's thoughts. Kenny's thoughts are, I'm going to quit right now so I can go home while I have a chance. But he just doesn't want to say that, like you said, Roxy. He just is a little bit too prideful to say exactly that.
Like, I would not have been surprised one single bit if he would have stood up in front of those two mascots and said, "Please send me home." Like, I was fully prepared for that man to say that. And I mean, and I was just like, I mean, when Chemo won that competition, I was like screaming. I scared Leighton. She came running in because I was just like screaming, like, yes. She was like, "What is happening?" I was like, "Oh, it's just Chemo. He just won." And because that's what I wanted, because I wanted Matt against Kenny, and for Kenny to say, "Please send me home," and them to go, "No, we're not going to do that." Because then I was really hoping that Kenny would get mad and just quit and leave. But
it would have been, yeah. But he did not say that. I mean, he was kind of borderline wanting to say it in this moment. I cannot get over Chelsea and Cedric just taking over literally the entire living room.
I hate it.
And we've talked.
This is.
I'll say a lot in my speech, but I want to do what's best for the game. So I trust all of you. I love you all so much.
So he's saying, I want to do what's best for the game. That clearly means vote me out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he basically did tell them to vote him out, and then they just didn't. So we can really take some victory in this. That this man just asked to go home, and then they didn't do it because they don't like Matt.
Well, so the Lisa and Angela fight, which is the one fight that we don't have any video footage of, and Big Brother hasn't shown us at all because they suck. And anytime that they try to do a retell of it, the feeds would cut. We spent like 2 days with like just getting to know the fish tank, and but from what I gather, so Lisa had told Angela that she just went up to her and was like, "I can no longer be associated with you because it is like being associated with you in or outside of the house will affect me and my glitter chef career personally." And Angela was like, "What the what?" And then called her a bitch, apparently. And like a bunch of people on social media acted like that was breaking a rule of some sort and that she should be immediately removed from the house for calling her that. And I'm like,
We've had a different show for the last 26 seasons if that was the case, I think.
like,
Okay, so
that is not a thing.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
like not a thing. So I don't even know why people thought that, but so that happened, which I thought was ludicrous. Like, I'm sorry, but your glitter business or whatever, your chefing, your celebrity cooking, your cooking of celebrities that you're doing is not going to be affected by whether or not you speak to somebody in the house. So she no longer wants to be associated with her. And then later they have the when they're wishing happy birthday to Lisa's brother last night, she got pissed because Angela didn't participate. Like she was in the kitchen, but she didn't turn around and participate in wishing Lisa's brother, who Angela does not know at all, happy birthday. And so then, like, make up your mind, Lisa. Do you want her to associate with you or not? Because happy birthday to your brother seems very familiar. So I don't know how this is going to affect your restaurant business. And I'm just like, whatever. And then she went into the storeroom with Mackenzie and bitched about it, complained in tears again. Like, she's just so rude. And then during that conversation, she's like, and I don't like to talk about people behind their back. And I'm like, except that's literally what you're doing right now.
I really don't want to have to do this, but I'm going to do it. Okay.
But I'm gonna, because I'm actively doing it. It was so stupid.
I'm loving everyone. I think the lack of rewinding feeds has caused an insurge in clips, and I love this. So thank you everyone on Twitter who has just given me the opportunity to play some of these things. Roxy, I also like it when you just are going down the line of these conversations and I can just find them like this. It's amazing.
I've never.
Did I send them to you?
No.
Just like diabolically ignore you.
Just like
Deliberately. Why did I say
diabolically ignore you.
Deliberately.
I set a boundary, and I get that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be associated.
I meant
but
it.
Still, like,
And then she
Be a
refused to
normal
cross
human.
it.
be a normal human.
Engage in conversation.
Like, I'm not engaging with you.
It's like when your mom yells at you and you're throwing a tantrum and you just don't respond. But like you still have to respond to your mother. Like it's just common respect. You know what I'm saying?
There's a difference between like respecting someone's boundary and like
just being a respectful person
in a house with everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said, literally, don't talk to me. And then she said, she's so mean, she doesn't talk to me.
I kind of love it.
Put a little glitter on it. It'll be fine.
We do need a lot of things patched up with this, whatever this fight was. So I'm assuming that we're actually going to be able to see it on Sunday's episode because we're all kind of clamoring for it.
Possible. Well, and I think part of it has to do with the 18-hour talk that Lisa had with Matt, wherein, he called Lisa selfish and all of that. And told her that if she doesn't vote to keep him safe, that it will show her lack of morals.
Yes.
He literally told her that.
Yeah.
And so it may have, because Lisa wanted to know who said that she might have a power. And I guess at some point, maybe she thought it was Angela. Like, no, it's everyone. Literally everyone is saying it. But including the person who's telling you about it right now. He also said it. But whatever. So I think it also had to do with that. She needed to, Lisa did a whole lot of setting things straight and clearing the air in increments of 4 hours with each house guest. So wherein she told them how it was, but did not allow them to speak unless they were going to spill their entire game. Tell me everything you know. Now, you won't? Okay, I will tell you this. You should tell me everything that you know.
It would be really great if you told me everything that was happening in full detail. Well, they did tell her who was probably going to get voted out, and she still didn't even listen to them. So
yeah.
I totally forgotten about the vote for your morals, like a vote that will establish your morals element that Matt was bringing into the vote.
She's not even the only person that he said it to. He said it to multiple people that this would show where their morals are. He also said, and this is my favorite thing, which is, if nothing else showed that Matt has no idea how to play a game, this will. He literally said, a vote for chemo is a vote against me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's how voting works, Matt.
Really?
Like,
well, his number one ally Kenny agreed with that statement, so it's really 2v1 against you in this argument right now. Kitty and Matt believe it, so at least it probably makes sense to Lisa too.
It must, like, and then so the stuff, like the tension with Angela and basically everyone, but in particular Matt. So Matt, before he got put up as a renom, he had concocted this elaborate plan that also sucked because he doesn't know what he's doing in there. I'm sure he's nice, but whatever. He just sucks at this game. And so he was like, he said, well, you could put up Tucker or you could put up Tikor.
Yeah.
And then he told Angela that Tikor had agreed to it. And so then Angela said, well, she had to come and tell me to my face, Matt. Okay.
I totally forgot about this frustrating part on the feed.
Yes. And every time that Tikor would come just and casually sit anywhere near Angela, she was just getting herself so worked up. She was like, well, I don't even know why she's not saying anything to me. I'm like, Tikor, say something to me. And I'm like, I hope she doesn't, because that will mean that I won't put her up. Okay, you're the HOH. Do what you want. You don't need a secret code. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need somebody giving hand signals, off to the side.
She
Who
was
cares?
she was fully believing that T-Core had like been convinced to volunteer herself as a pawn, and it was just
Mhm.
like she was dismantled by it. She was just like, oh, T-Core. I can't believe the domestic T-Core like this. T-Core's never heard of this. T-Core has not done anything to make herself a pawn. It has not happened.
And it wasn't until afterward that T-Core even knew that any inkling of that plan, which
Yeah.
I thought was really annoying, because there are people that are in her court that did not tell her. And I'm like, why did nobody go, hey, this is going around? Like, it's not true. But then Tucker found out that he had thrown his name out. So then Tucker hates Matt, but Tucker pretty much doesn't like anybody except Rabina. But no, I'm just playing. He likes everyone. He hugs everyone every night, but like before bed. But Tucker found out about this, and he was obviously irritated. No, he was pissed. And so he makes this plan with Angela that he's going to tell Matt that he's down with that plan. And then he's going to tell Angela in front of Matt, so Angela will think that he will be the replacement, and then you can just blindside him at the veto ceremony, which is what happened. And it's so disappointing that they don't really show any of this kind of stuff on the edited show, because casual viewers have no clue about the audacity of Matt thinking that is like a cool like game move. Like, you're not Dan Giesling. That's not gonna work. You have 0 relationships. It's like day 5. And B, that he like just thinks that people should just want to do that. Like, and then after T-Core found out about it, somebody in chat already said it. Like, when he asked for her vote, she straight up was like, no, I didn't vote for you.
Yeah,
Like,
it didn't exactly earn it. No, I was constantly baffled by the amount of times that Matt would have a conversation with someone and come out of that conversation not even thinking for a second that maybe he was lied to in some way, or that maybe someone was playing him in any regard. And that's like just that's why it baffles me that Big Brother continues to cast these people like Matt and Kenny, who just either don't want to play the game or don't know how to play the game to the degree that like easy things, like just someone potentially lying to you in Big Brother, that's just something that's going to happen, whether you have watched the show or not. And the fact that Lisa and Matt could not grasp that to save their life for an entire week after being blindsided 2 different times, 3 different times.
Lisa told Timo she wasn't voting for him. And I don't even understand that one. I understood T-Core, but I don't understand. I don't understand. I just don't get it. But this twist that they have, like, I gotta tell you, I'm not a big twist fan, and we'll see how it goes moving forward. But I do think that this twist did serve its purpose of making it where you don't have like this herd mentality of I mean, they did try, but it didn't work out. Of being on the right side or the wrong side of the vote. You vote how you vote, but it just made it really difficult to know, especially week 1. Like, they hadn't figured out how to get around that yet, how to play around it or whatever. So it definitely served its purpose this week. Of like, I have no idea who's going to be on the block on Thursday. Like, how do you play it?
Yeah. I think the twist is really interesting because normally when there's 2 people on the block, like obviously like 1 person is surviving. When there's 3 people on the block, it's different because like 2 of them are coming off, but it's weird because there's so many, there's what, 3 different scenarios of what the final 2 noms could be out of those 3 noms, right? And there's always like one person who would have been, so like tonight, for example, Kenny almost got the boot if Matt would have won the comp. So now Kenny knows for a damn fact that he is on the bottom of the house. And we're going to see that trend happen like over and over and over again. And I feel like that's very interesting and can create like a different house dynamic than we've seen in the past, where it's just one person consistently being thrown up as the pawn. And it's like, no one's going to vote them out. It doesn't matter. So I think that it's good because they did like a twist similar to this in Big Brother Australia, and I really liked it. So I think that it's going to add to good gameplay where it's not just like the stick with the house type of mentality, because you don't know what the house is going to be because there's 3 different options to vote out. So I like it. I think it's good. I wasn't a fan of it at first, but I think it's, after I've seen it like play out this week, I'm very much here for the twist. I like it.
It made it difficult, like, for the people to know what to say when somebody comes to you and they're like, doing their campaign. It's like, I don't know how to answer that because you don't want to go, well, okay, if it's you against this person, then yes, but if it's you against the other one, then no. So it's like you can't. There's not really. You're basically lying because you're not. You're not going to say everyone,
right. It creates mess because you're not going to show your cards like that. You're not going to strictly like rank the final or rank the noms to them.
Right.
Like, so you have to like,
if you rank them and then it's different than how you envisioned, like, and you keep somebody, like somebody ends up staying, like pulling themselves off that was the bottom of your rank. Then you are a target now. So you have, I mean, this takes some finesse, which
it does.
Is not something we've had in recent years of Big Brother, like where you had to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I do kind of like it.
I like that it's a live comp too. Like I like that it's done on the show because I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be something that they do, like, you know, like a veto and then they come back or whatever. I like that it's done on the show and then they have the minute to, and they have, sorry, I like that they have the 60 minutes or whatever. Or sorry, not 60 minutes, Jesus Christ, the 60 seconds to like campaign.
You're almost there.
You know,
I think that will get somewhere. It will not be like Matt and Kenny like every week. You're both right though. I think this goes a long way for backdoors as well. I think that I'm not a fan of in Big Brother because it gets it's systematic at a certain point, and then if you got someone that doesn't even compete in the veto, it's just not fun to watch. Then your week is over at that point. I think it takes a little bit of that.
When the 6-finger plan, when it first originated, but it's old. It's old news now.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it every week.
When your favorite player, when you have a DX who's getting backdoored, you know, in 23 and he doesn't even get to play in the veto, it's like, okay, well, this game doesn't feel fun in that way when someone doesn't at least get a chance to try. Like you have to earn the right to vote someone out sometimes. And I feel like when someone doesn't even get to play in the veto, that really makes the game lame. So this takes out that element because it forces an HOH to be like, oh no, now I have to think of 4 people to put on the block if I'm going to backdoor someone that just has even more options to think about here. So I like that element to it. And then I also like you brought up, you really have to play close to your chest when it comes to any sort of voting scenario and what you tell people. And it also makes bigger alliances all that more dangerous because then you're just like, okay, those 3, if one comes off, all right, I have a 4th option. Which is why
I think it makes it impossible to have big, huge alliances. Like it's not feasible at all. I mean, you could have a pretend big alliance, but within it, you're going to have different factions, which you normally do anyway. But it's imperative to have that now.
Yes.
You can't just rely on a large number. It's different this time, and I like it.
And on top of that, I think it really is important, which is why I'm happy you went right this week, to have competitions that everybody can win. Because if you have this week and you don't have Angela as the HOH, the oldest person in the house, or the next to oldest person in the house, if you don't have, you know, Lisa winning an old BB comp veto when those competitions were more, you know, fair to everybody involved, and then you have this competition tonight with Chemo winning, the last person that people really expected to win, if you're just going by people having scenarios in the house or online, I think all of those things are so important and really set the stage that you don't have to be afraid to nominate the jock and get him out, because there's going to be some sort of physical competition. Like, I know Matt was begging for the ball pit competition on the feeds earlier today. Like, if they had done something like that, where you can kind of figure out who's going to win just based off of who's playing. This competition tonight in the AI arena, I have no clue
I don't even know
how they did that. I have no clue. Yeah.
I was like, what's happening? Like,
they all laid down
they're
those different
supposed to
answers, and I
do.
was like, okay.
like I know exactly what they were supposed to do, but I don't understand how anybody made any sense of any of that at all. And then they all three have different answers, and I'm sitting there thinking, what if they're all wrong?
Yeah.
What if everyone is incorrect? Then what are they going to do?
They're all
I don't know how that Chemo arrived at Quinn, but I'm glad he did.
I'm also glad he did, but I have no clue how he did that. Like, I was watching myself, and I know that they had a better view of like all of the screens. I couldn't figure out how many different animations there were. I couldn't figure out, like, they wasn't staying on them long enough for even like count them when they were on screen in the first place. So the fact that Chemo not only got an answer that he believed in, I think, but also got the correct answer when everybody else got different answers was amazing to me. I was guessing T-Core. I don't know what everybody else was guessing. That was based off of nothing that I was guessing T-Core.
Oh yeah. Like, it just like any, mini, money, mo. Like, I don't know. It was overwhelming to me.
Me too. I feel like if I had to do that comp like in person and like with the stress of going home or whatever, I would be like, this is too much. And I would not know. My brain would like malfunction.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I think mine did malfunction during it.
Yeah, mine did watching it from
the same
home.
thing that I said to y'all in our group text. Ara in chat said the same thing. I thought it was Brooklyn because they showed her when they explained the game. So I was like, they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, I was joking when I said it, but I did the same thing. I was like, well, I guess I would choose Brooklyn because I don't know. That's what they showed for the example. Like,
if they'd all
a weird
tied,
game.
It would have been just the second most appeared on there. But
yeah, probably.
Juan thought it was
probably, and they would have had to go through all 16 house kids before they got. They finally get all the way down the list.
Quinn was actually the 10th most used house guest in that, but you were still right somehow, Chemo. Everyone else just had horrible guesses.
Yeah.
Okay. So believe it or not, that our last wheel was talking about all the fights. So we should probably move on.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know how many we have 4 topics left on the wheel of discussion. Oh wait, we just did that one. We have 3 categories left. Let's talk about them again. How about that?
So those fights.
Yeah. So back to the fights.
Well, be showmances.
Alliances.
Okay,
you can't just tell the wheel what to do.
I can't.
That's not how this works, Roxy.
Well, I could tell it, but it's not going to listen.
Let's talk about alliances, or I guess lack of alliances. I could pull up an alliance chart that someone has made on Twitter just to give you a taste of how confusing this is, which is, I think, typical Big Brother, but Angela being HOH, completely shutting down the collective. Matt spearheading alliances that just did not come together because he's Matt. Really added to a confusing week in terms of trying to form any sort of alliance. I would say the closest we have gotten is duos and trios that just kind of like each other. But I don't see a lot that is coming together. This is a day 4 map that I'm using from Twitter right now. And I'll put it up there once I actually click the right buttons to put it up there.
There's Oh, I have an updated one. I don't know if you want.
You have an updated one. I think they're somewhat similar. It at least gives you a basis in terms of like the Pentagon and collective, which we already saw the collective, and the core, which is the 3 C's, which is probably going to be your most likely to solidify at this point into a real thing, or is already a real thing. I don't know if y'all agree with that.
No, it is. It is a real thing.
I agree with that.
Okay. I still get antsy not knowing if it's a real thing yet because we need another person in power, but I know
there's way more alliances than this.
I'm just trying to keep. I was gonna build to the mess. Here's just day 4.
I sent you the updated one if you want.
Okay.
It was made yesterday, so.
T-Maz in Facebook group
oh my god,
posted a new one.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, see, quite a bit different, right?
Yeah. So what do we want to focus on here? We've got
make it big.
I'm trying to make it bigger here. How do I make it even bigger than that?
Let's walk Barrett through social media again.
Oh, here we go. Now we're just completely off.
Lovely.
So we can look at the barbershop, which is absolutely not going to be a thing in the top right there. That was formed by Matt and his storage room wars that he was having in the first few nights. The core, CCC, Triple C, whatever you want to call it. We have Cam, we have Cedric, we have Chelsea. That's probably going to be your most likely formation here. And then we have the Pentagon, speaking of formations, with Quinn.
They told them to rename that.
Yes. So yeah, we are waiting for a new name for the Pentagon, but for right now we have the 3 C's, which is Cam and Cedric and Chelsea, with Quinn and Brooklyn added into it to make the Pentagon, which is going to be something else. So don't fall in love with that name. We have
too late.
We have Quinn and Angela as the BB guns, which was formed after Quinn revealed his power. I don't see anything with Angela going anywhere with anybody right now. So
but like the Andersons,
yeah.
I mean, I do think that one's got a little bit of staying power, and not the one with Angela added in, but just the Andersons. That's the have-nots. Like, I mean, you already, the only, like, Cam and Quinn already work together, but I think they'll work together a little bit, but I think the most solid one is still the core, the Triple C, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah,
I agree.
And it's a good one to root for right now because I don't really dislike any of those people that are in that group.
I really like that group a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I do too.
There's also like little factions to look for. I mean, we saw Leah and Lisa and Mackenzie all vote together tonight. So you can be on the lookout for them. I think Leah is one of those players that is smart enough to get out of that because Leah is
get out of it.
Because Leah is friends with just about everybody, it seems.
She's got strong social game.
So I can see her easily falling into there, or at least being like, probably not smart for me to associate with Lisa, especially Lisa, but also Mackenzie to a large degree.
I can totally see like.
I honestly think Mackenzie's going to bounce back. I really think she's going to bounce back now that Matt is gone. I think she's going to be able to form more meaningful relationships. Matt leaving is probably the best thing for her game. Kenny's going to mourn it for a while and hold on to that like a grudge and seek revenge. Mackenzie said that she was going to, and I think she's like hurt and pissed and all of those things. But once that settles, I think she's going to be able to separate herself. And I think Leah is already like, oh crap, like turn. We've got to pivot and go the other way because I have screwed it. Because she already said her biggest fear is being on the wrong side of the vote, and she was. So.
Yeah, I think when you hear a vote that is so different than the number that you're expecting, and you probably don't even have that huge of an allegiance to the people that you voted with, that's an easy way to just jump ship. Or at least in Leah's case, she can probably just full on find the person that she trusts the most that did vote on that other side and be like, hey, That was pretty crazy. Just so you know, I would have loved to have known about that because I don't care about Mackenzie or Lisa or Matt. And I think she'll be fine because of that. I don't see her getting into
I
trouble.
do too. I agree with
think
what
that
Roxy said about Mackenzie, though. I feel like it's like kind of like when you see a showman start to form, like Matt and Riley last year, and like Riley got taken out really early, and like Matt was able to go pretty far because like he didn't have that person like attached to him. And so now that like ironically Matt is out of this situation, I could totally see Mackenzie like reintegrating herself in the house, because now that he's not there, she's kind of like forced to try and like do something, and she also has her power too. So I think that like she also has a good shot at like surviving this. So I can see like Lisa maybe being in a lot of trouble this week, but I would love it if Leah and Mackenzie kind of like duo it up and like low key though, and like kind of act like they don't like each other or like aren't that close or whatever, to try and get themselves reintegrated into the house. But
No, good thoughts. We all, I feel like a lot of people want the best for Leah in this game right now. I feel like she has a lot of fans that really
Twitter
want her.
loves Leah.
She's so good. From when I watched the feeds, I do really fucking enjoy her. She is just so funny, and I feel like she just is like a great energy in the cast. So I really just I hope that she's okay.
Is there any trio that does not exist currently in the Big Brother house that you really want to come together? If you could pick 3 people to form an alliance right now, for y'all to answer. That is also a chat question.
Oh my god. Okay, let me think about this for a second.
And Mom Quell is not a house guest, just so you know before you type 3 names.
Your mom has said that twice in chat. I've seen it.
Okay,
Quell
I have my answer, Barrett.
Okay.
I would say Leah, Quinn, and Tucker.
Oh,
I feel like that'd be so good.
Okay, we have another Tucker and Leah, but with Cedric in the mix now. Not complaining about that either.
I'm not complaining
Cedric's
about
still
that
a
either.
wild card. I can't put my finger on exactly what kind of game he's gonna play, or how much he knows about the game.
Yeah,
He
but
knows
he's-
nothing about the
That's
game.
more. That was gonna be more of my guess.
And
But-
and he doesn't know a lot about a lot of things. I've noticed. Like he did not know how many weeks there were in a year. Like
Mhm.
I'm just saying. He's so cute though. He's innocent. He looks like he's 12. Somebody today I saw where they were saying like they couldn't figure out who Cedric looks like. They're like, who does he look like? And I'm like, he looks like Cedric. What do you mean? Like, I don't think I have no idea. And they threw out a bunch of names and I was like, no, he does not look like that. But somebody said that he looks like Carl Gallagher. And I was like, I mean, not really, but if you look if you look at one certain picture, it's like, I mean, vaguely, but I was like,
wait, why do I kind of see it?
Carl Gallagher. But then I was like, I mean, maybe that's the closest one that they said, but they were saying like the craziest names. Like somebody said Justin from OTT, and I'm like, what? Yeah,
No,
see the bottom left one? Maybe. But that's the only maybe. But I was like, what? And I love Carl Gallagher, but
don't
not
know.
as much as I really like Lip, but
Oh, I love Lip, girl.
me too. Like, I love Lip, but
same.
That's to say, though, Cedric is, if we're going back to the wheel of discussion before, Cedric is in plenty of he's well integrated, at least in the most solidified alliance of the season. So let's hope it stays that way, because I also enjoy Cedric and I want to see him play this game and learn the game and see if he can adapt.
I always like watching players like Cedric, though. Like, kind of like, when you watch like someone like Derek X play.
Yeah,
and like
that's what I was thinking of.
Right. And like he has like no idea what the hell's going on. And then he has like a player who's like a fan that takes him under his wing and stuff like that. So I'm actually liking Cedric a lot more than I thought. Just because like coming in like he's 21, I'm like, oh, he's gonna be so immature and annoying, but like I don't think he is at all. And I was not expecting that. So I'm very here for it. I'm looking forward to him. So I'm very much excited to watch him play.
I agree. And I think Cam's that way too, though. He hasn't ever seen the show, right?
If he has, it's
I don't know.
minimal. I can't remember exactly what he said he's seen, but
he's really doing pretty good considering he's not like a fan. I mean, he has some pretty good instincts. I feel Cedric's driving him nuts sometimes, but I mean, he loves him, but he's like, seriously, all the time. He's like, both Chelsea and Cam treat Cedric like he's like their little brother, and like he's like, they're like, shut up, but he's just so lovable. Like he's just like, he's so cute. I love him, but he's not in my like. If I were gonna create a trio alliance, I would choose. Wait, clarify. Is this dream alliance? Is it just like people that I like and just they entertain me, or is this like I want to see them play the game and make it to the end?
I guess the second one.
Okay, because that changes who I'm gonna pick.
No, just say who you have. Just say who you have.
I'm gonna pick Quinn.
Quinn.
Okay, I will. I'll pick. This is who I think they can make it to the end, right? Quinn, Chelsea, and Joseph. I think they.
Well, okay, I'm here for that.
I think that they bring 3 different things to the group that would work well together. They have it's 3 different traits that you need to play the game. So that is why I would pick them. But if I were just going strictly off entertainment purposes, I'm picking Tucker. I'm picking Tucker, and I'm still picking Quinn. And probably Rabina, because I really like her.
I keep forgetting about her, honestly, but
yeah, you couldn't see her tonight because the mascots took over the entirety of where she was anywhere.
She's so tiny.
Yeah, we couldn't find. Where's Rubina? The amount of times I got to search for her in any given day. I mean, like, where is she in the midst of everything that it was tonight? Also, just all the cuts during Matt's speech, I really enjoyed.
His speech was ridiculous.
Right before it, you don't get to
you.
see it at the beginning. It started off on Cedric, and then it panned over to Chelsea, and the whole time I was just giggling like crazy because like they're just there, they're just standing there behind the couch.
They look so ridiculous.
Okay. Do we feel like we covered it
on Saturday Night Live? You know, when
the Justin Timberlake one.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
Come on down to. They've done whatever. How many?
They've done all kinds. Like Homelessville, I think was the first one that they did. Yeah, but
I remember Omeleteville for some reason first.
Yeah.
That's their hands especially look like that.
Yes. Well, Barrett, you didn't say who you would pick.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that. Usually I'll forget that because Zach's also here. So I would choose to come together.
Your mom.
Stop. I would love to see Chelsea work with. I really just want to throw Quinn. I want to throw Quinn in everything, just because I feel like, I don't know, he's a good piece to have in an alliance member, just for everything he brings. I also think he's going to make a target for himself earlier than other people would in an alliance, just because of his strategy choices so far. I think he's going to accidentally just rat himself out too much.
He's a bit messy.
Yeah. So
Terry,
it's only going to get worse.
That's not her name. It's not Verbena.
Okay.
I love you though.
Chelsea, and then Quinn, and then to round it out, I am going to say, I don't care what y'all think. I'm going to throw Lisa in here as a wild card. They're making it to the end. It's nobody would expect it. They tone her down. They take the glitter out. They say, Lisa, listen, everybody hates you. So please, whatever you're doing, stop. But if you keep doing it, keep our names out of your mouth. That's what I'm going to roll with. Lisa, Chelsea, Quinn, and it's going to happen.
Keep my name out of your mouth.
The last eviction before they're a solid trio is going to be Kenny. Kenny's going to get 4th place, and the final 3 are going to be Quinn, Chelsea, and Lisa battling for the
Tabitha in chat said you had her. You said Lisa.
I know. I had to do it. Listen, I lost a draft pick this week, so I'm kind of in shambles in terms of picking people. Yeah, I had Matt. What am I gonna do? How will I recover from losing Matt? Okay, I need to go back to the wheel because we got other stuff to discuss, and then we got to leave.
Okay. Yes.
We all got a movie to catch.
Going to the theater.
That's gonna come back after the movie, and we're still gonna be
we already really talked about Matt and his edit. I'm gonna skip over this. That was at the beginning of the podcast for those who did not get here at the beginning.
Most ridiculous. Oh yeah, showmances.
What's gonna be? All right, Glenn has told us that we need to talk about showmances last.
You mean Joey?
Which I never like. I'm almost always like meh about showmances, but
that's how do you not love showmances, Roxy? I for years have sat here and said I love it when people. I love when a story is to be told. I just love
true
it when
or not.
Yeah. Did you know that Big Brother has more successful marriages and relationships than The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? I bet you didn't know that.
So I'm told.
Oh, really? Who told you that?
Literally everyone.
I thought you were going to say Matt. I know Matt said it in his intro video. I couldn't remember if he ever said it again, though. Okay, showmances. I don't have a chart for that, but if you watched any of the episodes, you saw Matt and Mackenzie's edits that they got for their showmance. That was not really a thing.
It was a
I mean, it was not a show. Well, one key thing that they left out of Mackenzie's life throughout the entirety of this week was that she has like a guy back home still, which I know we've gone over. How many times have we heard that in Big Brother history, that they have someone back home and then suddenly they're in a showmance with someone in the house. But like, that is an important element to just graze over like at any point. Like, Mackenzie knows that they're editing this because they're asking so many questions about it. And Matt, of course, is in the backyard with her, like, they're talking about us and they're, like, it's kind of a big deal.
And I feel like though that she was like really pulled back from him like the last few days. Like he was like almost getting on her nerves.
And maybe he was.
Which, I mean, who could blame her? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Because remember in season 8, Jen, like, she liked Nick, and that was the whole thing with her not liking Danielle, is because Nick liked Danielle, and Danielle had the boyfriend who they broke up while she was, you know the story. And but then after the show, like Nick and Jen dated for a while, which I thought was like crazy because they hated each other. Did you not know this, Nick?
No.
Yeah, they did.
That's
and yeah, so super bizarre. But so I'm just saying, like, just because they don't like work out on the show doesn't mean they might not date at some point. That's all I'm saying. Yes. I don't know what I'm saying.
Their story's not done, Roxy, is what you're saying, I think.
I've heard that somewhere.
We can talk a little bit more about it. I want to play this clip, though, that I hated from one of the episodes this week.
Beds that are next to each other because we got the last choice of beds. If you ask me, that might have been planned on her end.
Just because we have conversations does not mean that's flirting. Matt is just great. He is so sweet, so kind. He's very good looking, and I'm loving getting to know him.
You just got to play hard to get. Just makes them want a little bit more.
So stay tuned.
Just because I'm pretty, I can talk. Doesn't?
I don't want to watch any more of that. So there was that. They did dedicate plenty of time to Matt and Mackenzie, which we could combine the Matt and his edit towards this too, because man, did they paint him as this guy just head over heels for Mackenzie this week. I mean, he was looking for love originally going into this house, but little did he know
in
he
all
would
the wrong
find
places.
Yes. I thought at first they were gonna make like a joke out of the showmans. Like when that segment started, or any of the stuff, and like when they were out in the backyard or on the hammock in tonight's episode, I thought the whole time that it was gonna turn into like a jokey edit, and it didn't. It turned into like a
Like they were gonna play those wacky sounds in the background, like
yeah, and it just never happened because Big Brother really wanted us to believe that this was a blossoming relationship that was forming in this house.
Well,
I believe that was on purpose. She didn't want to find her bed until like there was 2 left, and so then we had to get 2 beds next to each other.
I mean, talk about like Delulu, like reading things into things. Like it's like I will openly admit that Angela is delusional, but some of these wackadoodles out on social media can't. Both things can be true. Okay, Matt is also delusional. I'm just saying, and but let's talk about other people like Leah and anyone in the house.
I have seen so many shippings of we have Leah and Joseph at first, and then we had Leah and Cam, and then we had Leah and Quinn. Everybody wants Leah to fall in love with someone.
Leah and Cedric.
And Leah and Cedric, yes. So
yes.
We're just all hoping that Leah falls in love with someone in this house, but who's it gonna be is the question. If anyone,
Tucker. Honestly,
it's Tucker. And the answer was all in front of us all along. Yeah.
No, it's not going to be Tucker because she likes chubby people. She's the one that likes the chubby people.
That doesn't mean she only likes chubby people.
Well, I think it does. There's not anybody who's chubby though.
I will say
really chubby.
Well, it's Big Brother.
But
Do they
Quinn
ever do that?
The other day, and when Quinn talks to the cameras all the time, and the other day Quinn did take his shirt off so he could go get some sun outside, and then he turned to the side and he was like poking his stomach out, and he goes, "This is what skinny fat looks like."
Oh yeah,
it was so funny to me, and I was like, "Okay, but you're not really." But I feel like that Quinn is a good choice for her.
Quinn said, "This is slop chic. If you want to be skinny fat, get some steel cut oats in your diet."
Yeah, it was really funny. I think he's really funny, but
this was that moment. By
perky
the way,
people.
Yeah.
I think Leah could get with that. Terry says Leah with Tucker, but Tucker likes Robina. I'm telling you, he likes her. Plus, Tucker's already said that all of his girlfriends were, did he say Colombian? No, who said that? What, black and something else, maybe Latina. I can't remember, but it wasn't white. I know that. So I do think he has a little crush. And did you see him last night when they were washing dishes and they were like leaned up? It was so cute. And I don't like that stuff. What is wrong with me?
I'm going to have an edit of Tucker and Robina just playing silently as we keep talking about them. But no, I think it's I think it's a good duo to look out for, a possible showmans to look out for, and 2 people that have like great personalities that I enjoy watching. So if they were in a showmans, I wouldn't complain. But at the very least, a duo that could work together in this game that would be entertaining to watch, because their conversations are pretty electric, I will say. So deep in the game could be fun. But
I
yeah,
mean, I think people are overlooking Rabina and they're overlooking Brooklyn. Like,
definitely
Brooklyn
overlooking
is
Brooklyn.
Definitely.
doing
Absolutely
a good
overlooking
job.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn is
She's
so
filling
good.
that mom role in the house, but like not so. I mean, not like so. Like it's almost like you forget sometimes. Like, oh yeah, she has 4 kids. Like she's doing a good job.
Yes,
She's pretty
definitely.
smart. And also, I found out that her daughter cheers for a gym in Texas. And so I likely have, like, I don't know, probably pushed her out of the way on my way somewhere at one of
You
those competitions.
definitely have pushed Brooklyn out of the way. Let's be so completely real right now. She was the first person you pushed.
The first.
Well, I mean, it's not like I was like seeking anyone out, but I don't like it when people are like just standing there, like, move. This is not where you stand. This is a walkway.
Yes. I'd like to
No,
shout out
I
Casey,
have to
by the
look for
way.
her.
Casey is watching us on the big screens. I actually have no idea how big that screen is, but hi, Casey. She swears the answer was Chelsea in the AI comp and not Quinn. So we need to go back.
Casey.
Yes.
Hey, why I like her.
Yeah, why do we have Zach on tonight? Why not Casey?
Right.
We should have.
Yeah, as soon as Zach said I'm going to the movies, we should have known.
We should have said, see ya.
Yeah, we'll let you get there faster, actually. You're not showing up at all. Any other showmances
Amanda
that we
said,
have not...
she's a mom like us.
Yes.
She's a cool mom.
What do we call Kenny and Matt's relationship? Is it a bromance? Is it just Kenny being infatuated
paternal?
with Matt?
Yeah, like it goes to like father son to me.
Yeah,
I guess. What is the age difference there? Like, how old is Matt?
Matt's 24, 25.
And how old is Kenny?
He is
52. I'm guessing on all of these ages. I have
Okay,
no
Matt's 25. Kenny is 52. Wow.
Looked at a few Big Brother bios in my life.
That's crazy. Okay, Barrett.
Twice your age.
You're in an alliance with a man twice your age, you pig. But what other showmances? I need more showmances that we could throw out here, because there was a chance for the Tucker T-Core showmance, but T-Core has a man back home.
She has a boyfriend who is 6'3", runs marathons, is very thin, and he is he's getting his master's right now in biology, she said.
Very cool.
I mean, well, who else is single? Like, okay, so we have, out of the girls, right? Angela and Brooklyn are married.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if Chelsea's single?
I don't know if we know about Chelsea. Someone in chat may be able to help that.
Well, okay, so Chelsea's maybe. We have Leah, which we've talked about. Lisa,
I don't know about Lisa either.
Right?
I don't. Yeah.
Chad said Lisa and Tucker.
Maybe so. Maybe it was all in front of us all along yet again. Oh my God. That would be a love story. That would truly would.
From enemies to lovers.
For real right now. No.
I'm being for real. Like, what if
No.
the glitter?
Don't put that in the universe, Barrett. Why?
Oh, can I play this clip real quick? It goes to the Tucker T-Core thing, but I love this moment with Chemo and T-Core where Chemo was talking about Tucker.
Oh, Tucker too. Just Tucker's not discreet. Yeah. Yeah. He tries to be. I love Tucker. Obsessed too. Yeah. And he thinks that you're fine. Yeah, I am. Yes. Don't guess more. Got it.
I love her.
I don't know why I didn't throw Chemo in a trio. I should have thrown Chemo in one of these trios.
I really like, some years, some seasons has like a lot of players that I just don't vibe with. I'm like, eh. But every now and then there's a season where I'm like, there's so many people that I actually like. I mean, it's week 1, but usually by now I hate almost all of them. And currently I don't. So kudos to casting this year.
Yeah.
Like, I love a lot of these people.
Has anyone really, I guess, what's the best way to word it? Has anyone not met your expectations for what you kind of thought they would be in this game, for better or for worse, just based off of immediate cast reveal and going into this week?
But I didn't have expectations, so
I didn't really either. If I did, I had low expectations. I definitely did not.
mine
I guess
are always super low.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say Joseph, but not in like a bad way. Like, so I was expecting Joseph to be like, I don't know, like very
play
like
harder?
game. Yeah, like to be like a very big player, be like very game body, and like I don't think we're really getting that from him. But like I'm not like disappointed in that. I just like that's
His
just like
time's
not.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's a sleeper. Like people are like not looking at him at all, but like he's definitely like smart. Like so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
Well,
definitely had
remember
a.
in 10, Dan Giesling didn't do much
His
until
first week was awful. Yeah.
Oh, his first week was horrendous.
It was.
Horrendous.
I like what you're saying though, Nick. I think he did do differently than what I thought he would do. But if you're in his perspective, the one big game move that he did in the first few days was rat out to Angela that Matt was kind of feeling suspicious about her and throwing her name around and was kind of just like not vibing with her. And then that turned into, through a couple of other things, of course, what Angela did in front of everyone in the kitchen. So I think from his perspective, he's probably immediately like, I need to not do anything right now. Because like, not only did I potentially cause this in a way, but also Angela just confirmed in this same monologue that she didn't believe that me and Quinn making this alliance was real. Like she thought that we were trying to play her too, and that we were putting on some sort of acting performance for a low budget movie. And that's just like not what he was going for. So he's probably having to reevaluate. And I will say it was awkward watching him and Matt after the monologue, because Matt's like, I would never do something like, I hope you know, like, I don't even know where that's coming. Like, you believe me, right? Like he's doing the whole, you believe me that I didn't do anything to Angela. And Joseph is having to be like, I don't want to any part of this. I don't know, man. Who's to say what happens anywhere in the world at any given time? You could have been threatening then. I don't know. I'm not going to say whether or not you were. And it was so weird. And so I think Joseph's had a not a good week. I think he'll bounce back. Because to be honest, after the monologue, when he said, I think that'll make the episode, best line of the week. So I need more of that Joseph when he gets more comfortable as the weeks go along. Because he also just seems shy. And I think that's something he has to get over.
He needs to warm up.
He'll get there.
He will.
And we can throw him into all of the trios possible.
Yes. I have faith.
Okay. We have no more topics on the wheel. I am going to look through my notes to see, because there was a lot of moments this week. I hope everyone has known at this point in the 2.5 hour podcast that there were a lot of moments this week to discuss.
Just a bit.
And this game is confusing and ever changing still. And a new HOH is going to be crowned. And a lot of the things that we said or theorized are probably not going to come true depending on who wins HOH. So let me look through my notes, because there were still some funny moments that I thought happened that I probably forgot to mention here. So Wednesday's episode, I know there was a few things. I liked how the Wednesday episode started off with Angela basically being like, where my hug at, to Matt after the nomination ceremony. And Matt just refused to hug her. Like Angela was looking for every little thing to find fault in Matt at that point, which I mean, for good reason. Matt could have just given little effort towards Angela and probably been on a way better side of things if he just used the right words, which he consistently did not. And then we had that strange MJ and Matt segment where Matt is constantly like, where my hug at to MJ. So the first 2 segments of Wednesday's episode were very much where my hug at. I loved Angela staring at the TV and going insane. She called the collective a hoax, which I thought was a really funny way to describe an alliance, and I made a note of that as well. I don't think I've ever heard of someone calling an alliance pitch a hoax before, but now I hope it's the only way people describe it in the future. The collective is coming for me is an iconic line. That's like winter is coming to me. It's just the collection.
It's the same energy, like
yeah. We didn't really talk about Quinn's DR or any of the DR segments that really were within the edited up version of the monologue, where Quinn is just like, we weren't lying to you, Angela, throughout this whole thing, which they were not. And yeah, all of Matt's reactions. We had Joseph's consoling. I forgot that he was also wearing sunglasses during the whole consoling. So he's just like looking away from Matt the entire time while his sunglasses are just firmly planted over his eyes to prevent any reading. And then, the spelling bee, I will say, hi, Roxy.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I loved Quinn's DRs.
Yeah,
I don't
Quinn
know
had
if
some
you
good
said that.
DRs.
I heard you ask about it, but I was listening to Gunnar. Okay, I have to mute you again now. Or mute me again.
That's okay. The veto competition, the spelling bee, I really also appreciated how many people just didn't do good in that competition at all. Angela didn't even buzz in. And then immediately following that, we had Joseph. That spelled spin, but the N was a Z. So that just didn't count at all. Which, like, props to him. I don't know if he just didn't know that was actually a Z, or if he was trying to get away from something or get away with something in that competition. But I thought that was really funny that he spelled the shortest word possible, and even that one wasn't correct. Kenny, oh my God. I need to see if I can find a clip of this. Kenny had the worst DR of the week. I mean, consistently he did. But in this competition, he spelled camping for his word. In his DR, I made a quote because I didn't think I was gonna be able to find it, and I don't know if I will. He did the word camping, spelled correctly, all that stuff, and it cuts to a DR of him, and he said, "I made a 7-letter word, which is amazing for my vocabulary." It's
what?
Just bad. Just a bad thing to tell him to say. I hated it. I had to go back and just be like, was he trying to make a joke? I mean, he wasn't trying to. The producers are trying to, which is even worse.
It's terrible though. Like like that insinuates that he's an imbecile. Like camping is like that's a vocabulary word for lower elementary school. This is when they learn that you can put an ing on words.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, how is that even a flex at all? Unless you're 7. It's not.
It's not a flex. And they were trying to make a joke about how it wasn't a flex, but they had Kenny tell the joke, which is why it didn't work. Because Kenny is not his thing is not that he's dumb or like even pretending to be, like, his thing is that he's a cop, an old cop. So to have an old cop say a line like, which is great for my vocabulary, it's just so weird to me.
Old cops can't spell? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know.
They can
all
spell.
Cops are
because
illiterate.
Old cops used to have to handwrite everything.
Yeah, that's what they should have done. They should have had Kenny go into a full monologue of his own about the olden days of being a cop and having to handwrite everything just to make the joke about his vocabulary when it came to a spelling bee competition. Yeah, just I need to throw that out there. My pain. I hope someone shared it that is listening because it pained me a lot. Chemo spelled Pipers, but with 0 E's, which was fantastic as well. So just a lot of disasters that led to Lisa winning. And I say no E's is because the E's were deleted. I need to really get that right. Lisa won with transform, which is good word to spell.
An excellent word. I wish she would have spelled glitter. It would have made my day.
Yeah. Oh, think about this. I just looked at my notes. The Wednesday episode ended with Sweet Kitty K, as he calls himself, ending it with a DR saying, but Sweet Kitty K isn't giving up. I'm going to be here all summer. And then what is the first thing they show in tonight's episode? Kenny saying,
I'm quitting.
How stupid do you think that we are, CBS? Apparently very, because these shows are so poorly edited sometimes that it blows my mind. I get it. They got a quick
We
turnaround.
are stupid because we keep watching this show. I've watched it for 26 seasons. Well, minus last season. I watched the first couple of weeks. One day I'll go back and rewatch it or watch it. But I've watched it for this long. I'm probably not going to stop. It's like torture, though.
It is like torture, especially when we have fights that are not edited correctly or just
or that they just don't show us at all.
Hey, that's their main advertisement is 24/7 live feed, and yet there's a whole argument that we have no idea what the hell happened in.
Well, this is literally CBS this year is just saying, you know what, we don't really want to have live feeds in the future, but we can't just full on say we are not having live feeds. So what we're going to do is we're going to prevent people from going backwards. And then hopefully that drives down the amount of people that subscribe to the feed. So that way next year rolls around, we can be like, oh, well, no one's really watching these. It doesn't make sense to spend money on it anymore. And then they get rid of the feeds. That's how this works, everybody.
But I mean, I agree. They're trying to wean us off. But he said wean. Anyway, but more people subscribe now than ever before because there's no separate fee for feeds as there was in the past. Like before, we paid specifically for feeds. Now you pay to stream their network, which probably I don't know, a lot more. I don't know numbers, but that doesn't make sense to me, like that thought process. And I'm sure that is the thought process. It just, the math's not mathing. That doesn't make sense.
I agree.
They just I just don't understand why they're not showing us, if you're going to withhold fights I understand certain comps and certain ceremonies because there's a lot of production involved in that where they're giving direction and things like that. So they can't just show that. But as far as everything else, if it's not like a copyright issue, just show it. I don't get it. You're withholding it for what? So you can do a poorly edited version and put it on the show? Except you didn't even put this fight on there.
Yeah.
CBS has got to call me.
If they don't realize the amount of traction that Angela gave them this week as an asset for them going forward, and the fact that they get all of the social media traffic, all of the edits, all of the reenactments from Angela going off on Matt this week, and then they take out an entire fight for what? So because people are going to get mad online because they think Angela's a bully. Okay. When has that stopped you in the past though? I could have sworn production used to just love it when TMZ made articles about them because it means they get more clicks.
That's
right. I mean, I think they should appreciate those fights because it makes BB Twitter, Big Brother is trending.
Yeah.
That should be your goal.
It's are they just thinking that if they don't put it on the feeds and they advertise with their little clips that they keep putting out before the episodes, if they just tease that they're going to have the edited fight, that means they're going to get a boost in viewership because of that? When the show, the reason that it is so unique is that you can watch these people 24/7. If you take that away, it's just another reality show. And look at Big Brother Canada. Where's the next season of that one? I don't know.
I'm so sad.
Not that it would have gotten canceled anyway. I hate to break it to you. I don't think Canada was I don't think it was going to make it out alive either way. I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm just saying that seemed to be the
season was
case.
so good too.
Yeah. I didn't watch it, but I will agree with you. If it means
we never got
going
an all-star season. Like, that's so annoying.
maybe one day.
No, they demolished the house already.
They can build another one.
I mean, yeah.
Ty Pennington's going to build a new Big Brother house.
Yes. And then he's going to say, move that bus.
Are we done? Are we done with this show?
Yeah.
Anything else that we need to talk about?
No.
No.
I don't have anything.
I'm sure there are a lot of things that we left out, and for that, everybody, sorry about that. But we've been talking for 2 hours and 50 minutes. I hope you feel like we talked about a lot in all of this. So
We talked about a whole week, week one. It was a lot. It's not usually this long. That's a lie. It is usually this long.
It is.
I always hate week one. It's so overwhelming for me. I'm trying to learn everyone, and then like there's so many things going on. It's a lot. There's so much people.
Okay, I think that means we're gonna wrap it up then. We get to finally do it. Hopefully, Island's in the stream, and we'll all have a wonderful rest of the night as we wait for the HO. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being with us for 2 hours and 50 minutes. If you slogged through the entire thing, everyone can hear me, right? By the way, maybe I should check on that. Everybody, okay. Sorry, I didn't want to pull a Zach there. So if none of you are subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't liked this video yet, please like this video. That helps people find us more, and we can have more people that are chaotic in the chats to deal with. Maybe the sex people will come back. Who knows, really? But those who are in the chat tonight, thank you so much. This really means a lot to me that y'all keep showing up week after week. I feel like we're just chatting with y'all at a certain point. I mean, we really are. I'm chatting with two people in front of me, but I'm also chatting with everyone in the chat as well. So thank you for being here. Please come back next week. We'll be here once again after the second eviction of the summer. Who's to say what will happen in the coming 6 days or 7 days before we are back here talking about another evicted house guest. I forget that it has words. I need to change that out because it throws me for a loop every single time.
Me too.
You can follow all of us on X. I'm at Spicy Bear. Roxy's at Roxy_Hotman. Nick is at the Nick City. And yeah, find us audio only on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. I'll put the link tree that Zach made for us that is actually very useful in the description after this. But yeah, keep up with us any way you can. It's always fun. And Roxy, Nick, you got anything else to say?
No.
All right. Well, thank y'all for being here. Hope to see you next week. And yeah, love one another. Stay with us.
Not to stay with us.